Now I'm recording.
Oh, there we go.
Now we're back.
We're back.
Again, technical difficulties, right?
Back.
Nothing new around here.
No, fuck that shit. We're just not. No, nothing scripted.
Didn't we record like a whole 30 minutes one time? And then we're like, all right, now start recording.
Maybe that happened.
Forgot to press the button.
It's not like I do this for my living or anything.
No, definitely not.
You have a daytime job. You're fine.
Wait, yeah, Miguel, you were telling us about your new discovery of finding out you have ADHD.
Yeah. I forgot where we left off.
Well, do you think it like, because you talked about,
Oh,
like,
the PTSD
well,
question.
yeah, it was like the PTSD, but do you think like, you said you were, like, you were essentially like, didn't get the PTSD because you had ADHD.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just shooting from the hip. I mean, that's kind of like I'll just place it as a bookmark and I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
But, I don't really, I always looked at, I don't know, I guess I always had this kind of like novel feeling towards war of like just because I grew up like, watching John Wayne movies and Platoon. And so like, I just always assumed that it was supposed to be tough. Like it was supposed to be like motherfuckers are going to die and that's it. Like you either make it or you don't.
Yeah.
So that's always been my perspective on it. So when I went, it just seemed normal. Like I remember the first time we had 2 KIAs in my 06 tour. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of people probably felt this way sometimes too, like for their instances. But when they knocked on the door and they were like, hey, so and so got killed, I was just kind of like, I feel like I should be sad, but I'm not. So all right.
Well, I think at the time too, like when that happens, like at the time, you're like, well, yeah, this is war.
Yeah, so
It's kind of like the after effect.
But I never dwelled on it.
But,
like I never dwelled on things like that, or like if I saw a dead terrorist or like all the maiming of bodies and things like that.
Yeah.
Like and I don't want to sound disrespectful to like all the things that you went through, but like like when you got hit, my initial thought was like, hopefully he's okay. Like hopefully we have some medics there. Like just the military process of decision and understanding things. So like, but it wasn't like, oh my God, Terry, like, his whole life is ahead of him. Like,
well, yeah, but that's what you can't think at that point. Anyway.
Right, you can't. But like,
I don't think anybody ever thought of it at that point. Like,
but it was never like I never got to the.
But the after that.
But even after that, like it was never like, Terry's just a hard motherfucker, and that's it. Like we know what, like to a degree, we know what we signed up for, but we don't because obviously we don't, especially if you've never been to combat. But like it was just like, hey, he's alive. He's breathing. He can still walk. It's going to be arduous, but it's Terry, so we're good. And I feel like I would have felt that way. I even felt like that with my brother. My brother got shot in the leg too. Yep. And even with him, I was like, hey, as long as he's Gucci, like he gave me the thumbs up when I was like, I was getting ready to go on leave. I had the option to go on that mission. And I decided, I'm like, I'm not going to roll the dice on this shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, right.
So, because we were like a month out from leaving. And so I decided to not go. But like, even with him, like, it wasn't like, I held a little bit more regret, a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
But there was nothing I really saw that was like, wow, that's going to fuck me up for the rest of my life. I think there's only one instance, and I don't even really hold on to it to that much. The only reason I hold on to it is just to kind of, is like a reminder of how stark life can be, period. Yeah. Where we were getting ready to do left seat, right seat operations at the end of my first tour in 06. Well, at this point it was 07. And a suicide bomber tried to hit the A&A side of the base, and he fucked up and he pre-detonated and he messed up one of the A&A trucks, but he took out like half a bazaar. And we had we started recovering body parts and all that stuff and putting things in tarps. So the only thing I really held on to that was like the 2 little girls' heads that were on the tarp, like laying on top of, like gently on top of their intestines. But I don't even, like, it's not, do I feel sad? For sure. But it's not something that like wakes me up at night, or I'm not constantly thinking about it. Like I'll bring it up on purpose to just either talk about things with you guys or somebody else, or just to remind myself. Like the suicide bomber actually lived.
Yeah.
after that explosion.
shit.
He was right next to them.
What the fuck?
He was still like he was laying in the fetal position on his left side, and his hair was all over the fucking place. And he still has a little like Abu navy blue vest with a white shirt, completely shaved, but his pants were blown off. And he has legs intact, feet intact.
Fuck.
He was just gurgling on the side of the road. It was nuts. But like that's why I keep that memory there, just to like prove a point that life at some point will not make any fucking sense whatsoever. Like you could be putting down all the hopes and dreams of somebody's life into a tarp on top of their own intestines. Meanwhile, the guy who perpetrated this whole thing is right there, who got a chance to live at least for a few minutes, and we let him bleed out. And so I just keep it as a reminder. But I don't really lose sleep over anything because
I feel like the PTSD piece though is like it's like, for lack of a better term, they're calling it PTSD.
Yeah,
but it's the effects of war. Not even because we talked about it too. It was like, you leave the wire and you're like, oh, I'm gonna either die or not die.
Right.
So
very binary.
Doing that for an entire year or something like that, or 2 years or whatever your deployments are, like that does have an effect. But like, I think there's like a different, like everybody calls it PTSD,
right?
But it's really more like there's not one traumatic effect that like does it all.
I mean, I think there's still some physiological responses that I definitely have here and there, but I think the main point that I'm trying to get across is like I don't let any of the shit eat me inside at all, because you can talk to sexual assault victims and other people like childhood trauma. Like the difference is most of the time those other traumas you didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
We had the choice, regardless of how much we understood at that moment, but we still had the choice and we knew what the fuck we were going to do. Like if you're infantry, like
that's what you want to do, man.
Yeah. You're not going to be pushing papers.
That's
and
the golden thing right there.
Yeah. So, I think that's the main point. Like I never let it eat me inside. Like definitely when I first came back, but I think that's normal for everybody.
Yeah, totally normal.
Yeah. Like, garbage bags and fucking, if you saw a dead animal on the side of the road, or like if you saw like a sweaty ass, I mean,
I didn't have any of that, to be honest, though. Like maybe my transition was just so like literally.
Well, your transition was like fucking traumatic.
Right. The transition itself,
fucking true. I mean, you're
you didn't like.
You're good. You get a pass.
Yeah.
But you guys also didn't do a lot of vehicle operations, like on our tour.
Yeah, because we said fuck that.
Well, yeah,
2 MSRs. Why the fuck are we gonna let ourselves get blown up?
But we did, see on like my first tour, we did all the things.
Yeah, we did that and we got blown up.
Yeah. Like we did all those things. Like the first tour, we did, route recons. We did EOD operations with some of the guys. Like we were always doing Sec 4. We were always around something. Yeah. Driving through Kabul. So we got like a little taste of each type of combat. Whereas that second tour was just mostly like that old school, we're just going to fucking hump it and hope that we don't get shot or shot too bad and call in some air support.
But to your point too, like sometimes like those trucks, you're like, get me the fuck out of these things.
For
like,
sure.
It's just like a fucking moving target.
Sure. Yeah. Trust me, I would know. We drove up through all that stuff. Like in 06, we used to drive up past, was it the Gunapal, right? Yeah, Gunapal on the left side. This is one of the side valleys. Yeah. We used to go all the way up to Dalashah before you got to like Nuristan. And it was just the gauntlet. By the time when you came back, these motherfuckers were setting up while we were doing our key leader engagement.
Yeah.
And so for 6, 7, 8
there's like
clicks,
one road in, one road out.
That's it. It's not. That's it. There's no, yeah. So like, we would just be getting slammed by everything. RPGs, RPKs, everything. Everything. All the time. Every single time we came up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's, everything is, combat is different for everybody. Yeah. Shit, and there's definitely different levels to it because I don't want to ever diminish somebody else's shit that they went through because it's just different. But I try not to let it eat me inside because there's something I signed up for.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. You were saying something along with that, and it made me think of something really quickly where it's like, I was working this pizza shop maybe like a few years ago, and I sliced my hand on the meat slicer, right?
Yeah.
And I pass out. Like, I see all the blood or whatever, and then when I see that pink meat underneath my fingernail, like I get all wobbly in the knees and shit, and I pass out, and I even pee myself, right? And so I'm like, I clearly remember the day I got shot. Like, I wasn't crying, I wasn't freaking out, I was just like trying to deal with the pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I go? Like, for me, like fucking, like I feel like I handled getting shot and nearly dying as best as you could, like I'm not like sobbing or whatever, no judgment, but like I wasn't sobbing, but here I am, I'm fucking bleeding from my fingernail and I pass out. My friend, my friend's wife, also my friend, sorry Cassie if you're watching, you're still my friend. She was like, well, cause she, I think she passed out as well while she's given delivery, and at some point, and the nurses said that sometimes when people pass out, like they're not expecting pain, like she was just having that thing. What do you call it? You put the goop on there and the chicken kid or whatever.
Yeah.
And
The
ultrasound.
Yeah.
And something happened, and like,
Almost forgot that word.
yeah, you can't. You should forget. And then like I think she passed out from it, and the nurse was like, "Yeah, it happens a lot when people just aren't like it's a normal little thing. They weren't expecting to get pain, and they pass out. It's like your body's freaking out.
Yeah, but you're expecting to get shot at.
That's what I'm saying. So I was
it's
like
a normal,
I was ready for that. Yeah, which
it's
is
a fight or
fine.
flight kind of thing at that point, where you're like, you're trying to fight it.
I think there's something also really important there too, that a lot of people, like, I joke about it all the time. Like, I never passed out in combat. The only time I've ever passed out in the military was I was getting my blood drawn at I think it was Fort Bragg, and this fucking medic was like just straight fuck fishing, dude. This guy was like doing a fishing competition in my arm. And as soon as I looked, and I looked, and then I associated like with the needle just going back and forth, like hitting all my tendons and crap. They're like, wow, you're really white right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then I woke up with a cookie in my hand. They're like, eat this and drink some water. And I was like, but I joke about it because, people kind of have this weird like stigma with like, oh, you're a fucking bitch, you passed out. It's like, well, technically it's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And that's like throughout the entire animal kingdom, like our whole planet. So like, I think it's important to like recognize too that like it is a safety mechanism for your body, because your body just automatically, your body probably just went like, oh shit, we're bleeding, I see meat, we're back in Afghanistan, we're out, done.
Like a hard reset for the body.
Yeah.
No, I felt, if anyone's watching, they feel like a little bitch. Like look at me. Like, literally, like I got shot. I was just laying there. I was like, oh, this sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't even shed a tear. Yeah. Fucking pizza slicer. Passed out. Pissed a little bit on my leg.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie. I was running chasing my dog around because he's a fucking asshole, and he won't come in the house sometimes because he's got an electric collar fence or whatever. So like I'm like, get in the fucking house, and I'm trying to fucking wrangle him in. And in my backyard, we have a giant fire pit, and there's fucking stumps around it. And I was like chasing him, and I fucking hit the stump right in my fucking shin.
Ooh.
And then it went right down, and I was just like in so much pain that like I was like, why does this hurt so much?
Right.
Like, what? Why am I such a bitch? Yeah. It's just like, and I'm just like sitting on the couch. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I've done way worse stuff than this, but for some reason that was like,
that's what I was telling you before you got here. I was telling Terry, I'm like, I think it's really interesting with like suffering on whatever level for an individual is insanely relative to each person. Like, I hate stubbing my toe. Like, if I stub the shit out of my toe where it feels like just completely jammed, I'll be like, God, this hurts so much. I'm like, I gotta sit down. I gotta ice it, right? And then I'll think, I'm like, wait a minute. I used to do like 10 to 20 click road marches where like my right leg would go numb because my sciatica was like pinched, and I would just drag it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is this happening? Like, I don't get it.
Here?
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh man.
But I appreciate it though.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, something you said earlier, I just remember, I think we've all obviously been there. It was like, I just remember like patrols where it's like literally, I was like, you just play like ideas, what is in my mind. I was like, if I get shot right now, but just in the right place where it's like I get airlifted out and I don't have to patrol anymore, I don't know, I might take that. Yeah. I was like, what if I just follow this mountain and I just can't like move my leg and they got to airlift me out? You know what I mean?
Dude, mine was for the longest time. Mine was because our FTC shack was the Alamo for the entire base. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No, I didn't.
But now you know. So, it was a complete fallback for the entire base. And I was always like, man, if this shit goes down to it, I hope they hit the mortar pit, man. Please just take us the fuck out because I don't feel like defending this bitch right now. Like, just kill us all.
Just let it happen.
Yeah. Question though, I'm a little curious. Do you feel like do you think you had PTSD or still have PTSD?
I would venture to say that I do, but I try my best to not put that label on it.
Okay.
I'm really not a fan of labels
at
all.
Sorry, because my dog.
No, you're good.
His dog's crying. Harley, calm down.
Well, that's what I mean. I think it's, for lack of a better term, people call it PTSD. But
Right.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just like a way we, think about the world differently.
I
other people.
I prefer to think of it as fear. I mean, whether it's anxiety, whether it's a flashback, it's just fear. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, at the root of it, if I have a ab reaction to something that I see, it's because I've already been through it and I know that like shit can get fucked up real fucking fast.
Yeah.
So it's just fear. I'd rather put fear as a label on it, and it makes it, for me, it makes it easier to like understand that. Like, why do I feel that way? Okay, well, because you went through some crazy shit. Okay, cool. Okay, well, has it happened after that? Like, has it happened since then? No. Okay, well, is that deer on the side of the road at the middle of the night is going to fucking blow up on you? No. Like,
but I think that's why I think our very first podcast, we like labeled it anxiety. And we were like, we said something about like anxiety is okay, right? Everybody deals with anxiety. Everybody's like, oh, but it's PTSD to us, or we're labeled with PTSD rather than like anxiety. Whereas like, and when you come to terms with like, oh, anxiety, you're like, yeah, but that's like a normal human thing,
right.
And like we get the PTSD version of it.
But here's
like it's kind of weird.
The issue I also have with anxiety is anxiety, again, the root of it is fear. What are you fearing? And if you're fearing because you don't have a fucking plan for whatever it is that you're thinking about. So like, if I'm right now, I'm getting ready to graduate school. I'm starting to have anxiety about trying to find a goddamn job as an electrician in the middle of the winter. But okay, well, how can we do that? Well, do a fucking plan. Make a plan. We were in the military. We've been all a part of the planning process at some way, somehow, some point. We can do AARs at a minimum. So do an AAR with yourself. Do troop leading procedures. Do, obviously I'm speaking to the military crowd.
Sounds
but like
a lot of work.
Make a plan. It's as simple as that. If you can start making a plan for the thing, like what is my objective fear? Okay, graduating and not getting a job. Okay, well, how do we get a job? Get a fucking resume, dude. Square yourself away and then start putting your shit out there. Okay, problem solved. We're gonna keep doing it, and then if I'm not getting results that I want, okay, well, how can we adjust? And it's just simple shit, man. It's just simple. I just put fear.
No, hey,
I put fear on it. I'm not trying to diminish anybody's.
No, I like that. I kind of like that term because it's like
anxiety.
It really is like your fear of the next.
Yeah,
fear of
there's two P answers to anxiety. There's fucking make a plan or Paxil. That's it.
Or what?
Or Paxil or like Xanax or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's always meds, push meds. Like I'm all for meds if it's required. If I can figure it out on my own. Same thing with like physical health. Like, can you lay off the fucking pizza, bro? Can you stop putting 5 creams and 5 sugars in your coffee 3-4 times a day? Can you do these things? Because I guarantee you it's going to fucking fix a lot of other shit.
Yeah.
So I prefer fear.
Yeah.
Because it kind of also gives me that primal, like, I can fight this. Like, like when you're in combat, it's like, what's your fear? Getting shot at. Okay, well, how do you not get shot at? Kill the motherfuckers.
Yeah, right.
Like simple.
return with heavy superior fire.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. The more I'm listening, because initially
that's pretty good.
Fucking Zach. My initial reaction was like, well, of course it's PTSD because it's literally post-traumatic stress. So you're responding. So it is PTSD. But the problem with that is literally if you go to deploy, it's some level is traumatic. So then then it's technically all post-traumatic, right? And when you're labeled PTSD, suddenly it's like all this shit comes with it.
Yeah, because this term was like made up. Like it's not like like it's not like you could just call it fear, like you're saying.
It's just simple.
Like or like diagnoses, like you have to like put it as PTSD.
Yeah.
Like I mean shell shock, like that's kind of what it was originally.
Battle mind was way
mind,
back
yeah.
when. I
Like-
think it was. I don't know if you guys remember that one. Battle stress, battle mind.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but I am glad I went to Afghanistan and not World War One, like Europe. Like in the trenches for like
digging
days
tunnels
and
and
days
stuff?
and days.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
or
forget that.
Vietnam. Like come on. Like,
I think
that's crazy.
I don't know if it was somebody I was talking to. I don't know if it was my dad or somebody else. Dude, forget that. I don't want to be in like some fucking Braveheart shit. Like, just imagine being in like a 3-hour battle, just slugging,
next.
dude, just hacking away at a motherfucker's neck, trying to take that shit off.
They probably don't die very quick. Like you know how long it takes to like cut a neck off? Like it's probably pretty good long time.
Exhausting. And then on top of that, you got to be on edge. Like, think about most of the firefights that we've all been in. Like, it's been, a couple maybe stretch out, but it's usually like the initial like 10 to 15 minutes. But for the most part, that 10 to 15 minutes is just kind of like everybody shooting in different directions, trying to figure out where the fuck people are. Yeah. And then after that, it's like, did you guys see that? You guys PID? Oh, over there. And then somebody shoots a Mark 19 over there, and then they miss. And they're like, oh, just kidding. It's over there on that point. And so, like, it's usually how both, at least the Afghanistan firefights went.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a few that were like a little bit longer, but like they're never like 2 to 3 hours, or like those crazy ass Medal of Honor stories that you hear about.
God. Yeah, no,
so-
I think the sword fighting would be a little rough.
Yeah,
a little rough.
I did do a trench warfare course when we were doing our workup to go on my first tour.
Oh, really?
Because that was like when we were like, oh, they got caves and they're hiding in caves and we're going to fucking like put some C4 in them bitches and close them up. So they were like, hey, we got to do trench warfare because that's the closest thing that we got. So I went through the whole thing at Fort Bragg for trench warfare, and my fucking BDUs, ACU, fucking knee pads, I was all jacked up. We were so National Guard.
Doing some bayonet training too? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fixed bayonets. Fucking. But I mean, luckily for me, I had a 240, so I'm just gonna clap some fucking cheeks with this bitch.
Yeah. I think I did I'm pretty sure I did bayonet and basic training.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The
Pretty sure.
fucking
I remember it.
kill.
Those motherfuckers are sharp too. I remember. I'm like,
Yeah.
giving this. Yeah.
Yeah. That was when it really hit me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys felt when you guys did the bayonet training, but like that was when I really like when it hit me. I'm like, I'm gonna have to stab somebody at some point with this thing. Like, this is fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Or like the bayonet assault course. I don't know if you had.
Oh yeah.
Like you just, I think it's like 150 meters of just running through stabbing dummies.
Feels so weird, but like I really don't remember.
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
Honestly, that shit was probably more traumatic for me because I grew up in like a Catholic sheltered household. So like, I'm not even doing this for God. I'm just doing it for myself. This is crazy.
Boot camp for me is kind of like trying to remember like kindergarten.
Yeah,
There's little
I agree.
pockets you remember.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But like I can't remember like a full day.
Yeah. No,
Boot camp, no.
I remember my FTX because I just went through a ton of bullshit through that. But other than that, I don't really remember. We're all sleep deprived.
It's kind of just a thing.
As you get older too, you're not gonna remember all this shit.
Plus, like, like once you do enough time in the military, like you don't really. You don't really share like basic training stories.
It's so funny. Like when I got like fucking Joe's like sitting around or whatever, and they're like sharing. I'm like, are we fucking talking about basic training stories? Stop
Again?
your fucking basic training stories, you fucking fuckers.
You're hit, dude. If we don't get another war, man, that's all you're gonna hear.
It's gonna be bad. We're gonna be like, it's gonna be like 80s.
That's what I was saying. Someone else too. I was like, oh, I really hope like. I'm not the most squared away person, but like there's a certain level of discipline that you should not lose.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Like my nephew's in the Air Force, and I remember giving him like even though he's in the Air Force, I told him like, look, because again, I have this very novel approach to just the military period, but especially in the Army. But I told him like, look, don't fuck around. Like you're putting on a uniform, like so technically, like baseline level, you should be ready to kill somebody. There's like certain things that you should just be ready for. Obviously, it's the Air Force.
Yeah.
But still, it's not to say that like.
But I think I would tell people now though, like I think one of my cousins was like, oh hey, like I think I'm joining the military. I'm like, go back to do the Air Force, bro.
Yeah.
like
I tell everybody
go
to
do that stuff. Like,
I tell people, like, listen, if you don't want to kill anyone, go Air Force. They treat you like people. Obviously, there's TACP and, you get fucking, like,
yeah, I mean, you
but
can, but
for the most part,
You can do some baller shit in the fucking Air Force too, though.
dude, the load, just a
very
fucking
fun,
loadmaster is pretty cool.
yeah,
Like,
Loadmaster's a cool job.
you can
Yeah,
fly fucking anywhere in
My
the
nephew
world.
does,
You just fucking go there.
He does munitions for drones. It's pretty cool shit. But I told him, I was like, yo, go Air Force. The one thing that really, and I think I'm still trying to wrap my head around, at least in therapy, was on my second tour, like, I got so much praise, and all of us, like all the mortar guys, because we were really like the first and last defense for the entire base, like in terms of like big guns, like because we had 260s, 281s, and 120s, and we would get praise, especially with third platoon, because third platoon always got fucking shot at, and we drop some rounds and do stuff and kill people, and but I never got to see it. So like on my first tour, it was very like, there's an end, or there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end to this whole ordeal. Whereas when I was a FTC guy, it would be like, hey, good rounds on target, you killed 3 guys, nice job. And then I would have random guys from third platoon like come and shake my hand. They're like, yo, like we're about to get fucked and clapped. Yeah. Thank you. And it always kind of struck me. I'm like, I thanks. Like I don't.
Well, there's like a detachment because
there is
like
there is. I call it the panic room.
Yeah.
That's how I talk about it in therapy, because you saw our I don't know if you went inside the FTC shack.
Never.
The FTC shack was about the size of this, maybe a little bit bigger than this room, and all the computers, the LCMR, all the stuff that we need to do mortar operations were here. My bed was right there, in the corner. So there wasn't a night where I didn't hear TACSAT or firefights in the TACSAT or Death Star talking to the TOC to get some fucking chow up there or some shit, or the LCMR beeping and hearing the seagulls hit the fucking radar waves. So there wasn't a night where I did not hear those things, and it got to the point where I would sleep, but I would hear every conversation. Yeah. So if you were to wake me up, they'd be like, "Hey, so like I took down the notes," and I'll be like, "Don't even worry about it. The frontline traces X-ray Delta, blah 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 blah."
Yeah,
and third platoon's over here and whatever. And I always knew where everything was. So that's definitely the one thing that like really fucked with me, because like we killed. It was up there. We had like a dirt nap count on our whiteboard, and it was like we were up like I'd say like about 100 dudes, maybe more. I'm probably being nice about it, but it was a lot. But it always
so when dudes came back and were like, "Hey, thank you," like was it like?
It was the equivalent. It was the equivalent of somebody saying thank you for your service.
I was just thinking that. You don't know really how to respond. I was like, just doing my job.
True. Like, because I remember we didn't have a whole lot of like mortar support because,
but like you saw, not you. I could see like the relief in their eyes of like somebody who's just been through some crazy ass shit, and like if you weren't there, motherfuckers would have been shot.
Yeah.
I think the only confirmation I ever got was like very early on, like maybe March or April. We had, and I don't know if you remember this. We had like 3 guys that were digging.
Oh yeah,
in the road.
Yeah, they ended up being those
by Dumlum.
Yeah, those guys were paid like $300. They were a bunch of drug addicts, right?
Right, something like that. So we ended up hitting them a little bit because we were pretty close to a restricted firing area.
Yeah,
and so we laid it like pretty close. And then we had the 2 Apaches come by, and they just happened to be like, "Hey, what's up, y'all? Like, we're hanging out over here. We're gonna shoot some shit. Hey, perfect. We got some 3 guys over here. You want to clap them?"
Yeah, like 30 mic legs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still have the pictures, and
I'll see those later.
I'll show you. I also got the suicide bomber from second platoon that lit himself. I think.
Oh, the guy who tried to cook off the grenade.
Yeah, but it was only his head and his legs left. That was it, and his sandals were still on too, which is kind of funny, at least for me. Kind of fun. But anyways, but that instance, that instance was like the only like beginning, middle, and end that I got, because we got the call. Mm-hmm. Then we spun up the guns, we laid into them, but then at the same time there was still like this essence of like, well, technically, I think it was the Apaches that cleared them out. It wasn't really us. They might have been dragging themselves like to cover or some shit like that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's like a credit thing. I don't know if it's just kind of like a disassociation of. Or
that's gotta be hard. I mean, like, there's because his like a rifle goes straight.
I just kind of want
It's
to.
kind of like one of those things. Like,
Who was it? Was it something
like,
like
Yeah.
5, 5, 6?
you know what I mean? Like it's
I just kind of. I don't know if it's a credit thing, but like I just don't know what to do with it. Like I'm not sad about it because again I was doing my job and I did it good and people were happy about
I mean,
it.
I'd take it. You're the fucking angel,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like
But at the same
that's
time,
part
it's
of the
like
job.
so it's kind of like okay, I did my job, but at the same time, like what do I do with this? Because there's no closure.
That's part of the human brain. Like
Yeah.
if there's no answer, like we need to fill in that answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just agree with well, I'm trying to just, and I don't know. I'll talk to my therapist about this. I don't know how healthy it is, but I just accept it as like, yeah, I did that. Cool. And I try to be somewhat proud of it, which is kind of strange.
I think
But-
what would help is like just like literally just like looking at it as because you've been an infantryman
Yeah.
like, before that.
My entire
like you did like
army life.
and then it was like the 11 Charlie piece or whatever. But you have to look at it as like that dude on the ground.
Yeah.
Like what is that dude thinking at the time when
Touche.
he's fucking getting
Touche.
fucking clapped in like 8 directions.
Touche.
And then these fucking mortars come in, the fucking 81s, 120s, whatever.
Yeah.
They come in and they fucking save your fucking
Yeah, I was like,
ass.
we were like fucking Gary Oldman, bro. We were like, fire everything.
But I mean, like that's the way you're gonna have to look at
Yeah.
it. Like you can't just be like,
Yeah, I like
oh yeah,
that.
I shot some stuff in
That makes
the
sense.
mountains and people died. But like
Yeah.
the dude on the ground was like, fuck,
right.
holy shit, thank God. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that one to make you feel better? To close it? Close it?
Yeah, because again, like it's not. It's just mostly like trying to make sense of it because it's such a strange sensation of like.
Dude, I still do that, but even in my firefight, like there's lingering questions. So I'll give this to you,
Yeah, hit me.
just so you have some closure. Bourne said that we killed a dude with 30 mics.
Yeah.
With Apache.
Word. See, there you go. Boom.
You played a role though, of course.
I did. Yeah, we scared the shit out of him. Hey, we mitigated. Here we go. Here's one. We mitigated them from deploying whatever kind of fucking IED that they had. There you go. I played my part. Boom.
And here's the thing, I don't know, it's like kind of like it's in my brain.
Hmm?
Like, have you ever heard that study where like there's this guy who's got that literally like he's got a 3-minute memory, like he's like a goldfish you can't remember.
Yeah, isn't it like a thinking exercise or something?
No, it's a real thing.
Oh, it's a
So
real
this
thing?
guy,
Okay.
right? He has his condition, so the doctor comes and meets him, right? And he's he introduces himself, and then he comes up, he leaves, he comes back again, he introduces us again. This time he shakes his hand, is attacking his hand, and he pricks the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that?" And he leaves. The doctor leaves. He comes back like later,
Shakes his hand.
and again, of course, the guy's gonna forget. But for some reason, the guy doesn't want to shake his hand. He doesn't know why, because he literally has a mental condition. His part of his brain's fucked up. But he's like, "Why won't you shake my hand?" The guy's like, "Oh, I have this thing where I don't shake people's hand the first time I meet them, or like I don't trust people in white lab coats, so I don't ever shake their hand." Your brain just needs that answer, and if it doesn't have an answer, it will try to fill it in with whatever it can.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think there's another thing that I don't know how you guys feel about this. Narrative has always been kind of like at least in the forefront of like the recent stuff that I've been talking about for the most part with people or friends or my partner. Narrative, I think, is another big one too, because like we always had this kind of like. Typically, we kind of tend to gear for, at least I do, tend to gear for like the victim narrative. Like, you know, if we all go overseas, some shit happens to us, and I think that's another thing that feeds into like the whole PTSD conversation.
Yeah.
Is like it gives you a reason to be a victim. Like it gives you a reason to be like, oh well, who am I without this? I'm a PTSD veteran. Like, you know, how am I supposed to go to the VFW and have a fucking good time without getting shit faced and talking about burning children or something like that? But what I also found like through the ADD diagnosis was that I couldn't use that narrative anymore because I had an answer.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good. Yeah,
like narrative and identity they're so closely knit. So like I was like, well, I have the answer now, so I can't use a mystical, unprovable thing. Not that PTSD isn't unprovable, but like,
But
it's not woo-woo. It's not open-ended.
Yeah, it's just kind of a thing.
Right.
that's what I wanted to ask you, because I was kind of assuming that maybe your ADHD played a role in your PTSD while it aggravated in some way. So I was kind of confused when you said, no, actually, I think it helped me because, you know, I haven't seen you in months since we last filmed, right?
Yeah.
You seem so much lighter, so much happier.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but you didn't say like you did something specifically that helps you with your PTSD. You know what I mean? Other than the fact that you found out you have ADHD, but you also you said your ADHD helped you combat your PTSD. So I was kind of confused. I was like, well, you seem better, but if your ADHD had always helped you, so
Here's the way I
you're
see it.
better. So like, what changed?
Here's the way I see it, because with at least in terms of with me, like I was explaining before when we were offline, not all my connections are there to just baseline. Not a lot of my connections are there. So like that dopamine, norepinephrine, that adrenaline kick of like, okay, when this thing happens, this thing happens.
Yeah.
I don't have that connection. So that's why just loosely I say, I think it actually helped me because I didn't have that connection. Like I didn't have physiologically, I didn't have the possibility of making that connection with certain things. So I think my feelings towards the novelty of what I think war is and what I've always seen it portrayed in movies, as horrible as that sounds. And in conjunction with my ADD, I don't think it really dug itself deep unless it was like really something epic that I thought philosophically was just really contorted, like the whole girl thing or, some like the panic room stuff. Those are probably the two main things that stick with me, but I think that's why I don't really
so it was
associate myself
so
too
it was
much
like
with
the realization of like that you at the time that you were affected by let's just call it PTSD.
Yeah.
Like you were affected, so that traumatic event that happened, you were so detached.
Yeah.
Like because you're ADHD.
Yeah.
And then also because you were so like now that you're realizing that you have that,
Right.
you're kind of like,
that's the only answer.
okay, that's the reason that like none of this really affected me. But but like it could like it did to an extent. Like it's kind of weird. Like
actually, you know what, to tie it to the 30-minute goldfish memory thing. I think that's also another thing too. Is I with the whole memory thing. That's another thing with ADD is not having that great of a memory. So I think in conjunction with all those things, plus I have a physiological response to, seeing it. I still see a trash bag and I go, you never know, man. It might fuck around and be some C4 in that bitch or like some ammonium nitrate. You never know. But, so I have that body response or psychological response, whatever you want to call it, or both.
Yeah.
I still have that to a degree, but where I draw the line is significantly shorter than it would be like, I remember I was driving down Route 2 I got a better one. I was driving down Main Street or Park Street in Hartford. So that's like, basically little Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And I was driving with my nephew was in the car and I heard the bus air brakes. So I thought it was an RPG. So like I still had that response, like the psst, and I just instantly thought like, yo, this shit's flying fucking overhead. I pulled to the side. Actually, no, I gassed and go through a red light. It was like towards the end of Park Street. But those things don't happen anymore. And that was I think that was more physical than it was like, oh my God, I remember this one time. I think the culmination.
Normal response to an extent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that was more of like the midbrain training response midbrain training response that we try to hammer into ourselves when we're doing infantry stuff. I still think about sheep ambushes all the time because it's just burnt into my fucking soul. But I think that was more physical than it was like I wasn't attaching the mental part. Like I wasn't attaching it to like a particular moment that I had or anything of the sort. So I think I got lucky with not having those connections and having to tie that entire thread together of like, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm shaking. Like it was pretty quick. And also we don't, people with ADHD or ADD, like typically we lose interest pretty fast.
Yep.
So if it doesn't really interest me and I'm not really interested in fucking freaking the fuck out, like I lose it pretty quick.
Yep.
So I think I got lucky. I honestly got lucky that I was wired this way, which is strange to say, but
yeah, no, it's definitely protected you from like other things than you would think about, right?
It definitely helped out for sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of a wild thing because like memory to an extent. Like I've always thought like I just have a shitty memory.
Yeah,
but it's just like maybe you're just not thinking about stuff the way normally do.
Could be, or maybe it just didn't affect you as much as you thought.
Yeah.
Because I think we also try to like amp ourselves up of like, I need to remember this. Again, this goes back to the whole narrative identity thing of like, I need to hold on to this because it's a good story for the VFW or some Vietnam vet that I see at a fair or like, I don't need to hold on to any of this stuff. I can talk about it, no problem. Like right now, like, it doesn't bug me whatsoever.
Crazy.
You may have answered already, but maybe I'm just too stupid to have picked up on the answer.
Don't say that, man.
But I still don't see the connection because why you seemed so much better because of that. If you had a lot of trouble before, right? You told me like you were like
ton of trouble.
Going to the psych ward. Yeah, you're way better shape now.
We'll put it this way: 2 years ago, I was 210. And I'm down to 152.
I can see physically you look better, and mentally you seem way better. And if what you had before was PTSD, but your ADHD was helping you, offset any of that ill effect. But you still have ADHD. But so is it now that you're doing better because I guess maybe because you're now taking the medication, or both were also just having the label, understanding yourself better, give you some sort of mental freedom. Yeah,
because like let's compare PTSD and ADD. PTSD is such a woo thing. Like it's you constantly hear if you really are listening to like a lot of these 60 Minutes or anybody, they'll be like, oh, we got a lot of results. We started trying these therapies with veterans because we did it with sexual assault victims, and we got a lot of really good results with those sexual assault victims because we tested out a bunch of things with veterans. So I'm like, okay, well, they're both the same then. Like the traumas are the essence of the trauma, the suffering, like the truths are the same. Just the circumstances are completely fucking different. And one group had the choice, unless you were drafted. Sorry, guys.
I can't forget about that one. Yeah.
But right? Like one group has the choice, the other group didn't. And my heart goes out a lot more to the people who didn't have the choice than those who did.
You'd be strongly affected, yeah.
But I would, to answer your question, I would venture to say that the shame, perfectionism, and guilt that I had to get through all of school, like, from kindergarten, first grade on. I went to a predominantly white high school, so I was the only brown kid around there. And then on top of that, I had ADD, which I didn't know until I turned 34. So I sucked ass at math. I could barely read. My first language was also Spanish. So all that mental just fucking assault, like 3-to-1 odds assault that I had on myself, pale, like nothing comes even fucking close to the damage I can do myself. So I don't know if that's part of the answer, but in terms of like how I feel better, I don't know. Like I've always been a creative person. That's one of the ways that I made it through my, for lack of a better term, my deficiencies. So I was always writing and I was playing music and I always understood music. There's like certain things that I couldn't understand, like the structure of things. For me, the biggest thing is like the structure. What are the rules? Yeah. Military makes it really easy, which is why a lot of ADD people do really well in it, or ADHD even also, because it's just, you get up at 06 or 04 and it's just, everything's laid out. You don't even have to think about it. You just do it. So that's one of the first questions that I asked myself was like, well, how come I was so successful in the military and everybody viewed me as like this epic, and I'm not trying to suck my own dick, but like I had people like, they would always be like, oh, this guy's squared away, or he knew his stuff, or Miguel has the answer, or Sergeant Ramos would have the answers. But it always perplexed me because it's like, I fucking didn't. I did not have him at all. And usually I would just refer to like FM 7-8 or some shit. So I never understood that. So now having, coming full circle and understanding, like, that's what I was saying before when we were offline, I grieved. That's probably the best word I can use. I grieved for my entire past because I knew I could have been something better but I was grateful for the fact that I made it through up until this point, fighting with one hand behind my back.
Yeah.
Like, like I said before, man, if I know what I know now while I was doing mortars overseas, I would have fucking destroyed the goddamn country, dude. I would have been a fucking beast. But you know what? I can't play the what if game. So I'm very grateful for the fact that we all, I mean, with the exception of one, we all made it out. I mean, in terms of organically, we all made it out alive. We all came back.
Yeah.
We're all healthy. We're fucking sitting here talking about trauma and all sorts of crazy ass life shit. And so I'm very grateful for the way things played out. And maybe there's a reason for it. I'm not really religious, but I'm definitely spiritual. So I'm just really, at the end of the day, I'm really grateful for who I am, what I did. And yeah, I'm just excited to kind of figure everything out. But I think a culmination of all those things, I don't think is really one answer. I think I just got lucky with the way I was wired, leadership that I had at impactful moments. Yeah. So I feel like it's a lot of answers all in one.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it seems like not just the deployments or stuff like that, but like your self-realization that like, hey, this is like an issue that I've had like my entire life, and then realizing that you've gone through it and you've done it, and you've obviously been successful to an extent without like, any sort of stuff from it is like, or,
Dude, 'cause I've done it all.
any sort of like medications or anything like that, and you're like, oh shit, I might be stronger than I actually think. And then now you're just like, holy shit, like this is a realization, not just from the deployment, but for
like
entire life.
I feel like I can conquer some shit right now.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like that's another thing too, man. I've tried it all, man. I drank the first time I tried to commit suicide. I didn't even mean to commit suicide. I just was tired of doing the ADOS gig, dressing up in uniform, doing all the fucking TRICARE bullshit. And I got home and I was drinking a bottle of Ciroc. It was coconut Ciroc. And I got shit faced on my couch, and I was like, oh, well, I gotta go to work the next day. So I was like, you know what? I'll go take a bath. It would be a nice bath. We'd just chill, sober up, go to bed. And so I just kept on drinking in the bathtub, and of course it was like hot as fuck. Like, I drew like a hot bath.
Yeah.
And I was like, the pores are opened up. I'm like, you know what would be dope? If I just drank so much that I just blacked out and then drowned by accident, so that like physiologically I just wouldn't.
Yeah. It's not
physically I wouldn't
not
wake
real
up.
suicide. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I was just like, hey, hey, if it happens, it happens. So that was literally my thought process. But I woke up and the fucking bath water was cold as fuck, and I was like, shit, this is not where I want to be. And then I ended up sending a text to what used to be a close friend, not anymore, and my boss, who's still in the CT guard. Shout out to Stephanie. You're the best. I love you. So I sent them a text, and I was like, yo, I'm in a bad fucking spot. So I've done drinking myself to the point where I almost died. I've definitely looked at like, how should I slit my wrist? Should I put them, should I do it this way? How much blood should I lose before am I going to freak out and put on a tourniquet? I did all that stuff. I tried 7 or 8 different types of SSRIs and different antidepressants, meditation, yoga, working out, weed.
But you think just the realization that you had ADHD, it solves a lot of that.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because it was for me, it was like the missing, like my entire life.
Makes sense. Yeah,
my entire life, I always like there was something
you
missing.
felt lacking. Like,
to
an extent. Yeah,
yes.
you're like what
almost
the fuck is wrong
inadequate?
with me, kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And so I always felt that there was like kind of something lurking in the fucking shadows. Like,
Oh shit.
like, hey, like you keep doing all these things, and people like, I don't know if it was like the encouragement of my peers and all that stuff. I don't know, but I don't know what the reason is, but there's a good reason for it. And I'm here now.
So that was my assumption, and I didn't want to like say it and then make it like kind of like a forced answer or an exception the answer. But so that's why I couldn't really understand where seemingly all the variables are still the same. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you in the past you had PTSD, unless something else in your life, because we don't keep contact like that. I wouldn't know.
Right.
But all the variables are still the same. So then you would think maybe you're still suffering the same trauma and then still be kind of sad and, you know, have those thoughts. But you're clearly in a way better place mentally, looking physically better. And then you said like those other things you were using, those medications didn't work. So that's why I kind of feel like, do you feel like having that insight into yourself, having that realization, just open up these connections that just made you feel better mentally and just like healed a lot of wounds because you had an answer to things?
Yes. And because, again, I tried everything. I mean, I tried suicide twice, all the drinking stuff, all the shit that I just listed off. But still, I survived through it somehow, some way. And then on top of that, I would always, I don't know, I just like, it always felt like, if up until this point, up until I got the ADD diagnosis, I always felt like my headspace was always in a dimly lit room by a lighthouse in the distance that you could just faintly see. Like, you're like, there's something over there I want to get to. I don't know what the fuck it is. Mm-hmm. It sounds great, though. Maybe it looks like land. It sounds like I can get grounded. Mm-hmm. But I could never reach it. It was always like far away, and it was always in the fog. And everything was always foggy. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Nothing ever made sense. Certain structures made sense, others didn't, which was strange. But no matter what, since I could remember, since I was conscious, I always felt like there's like, I kind of get some of this. It's like an engine just coming, like somebody who just built an engine is just like, it's sputtering. We know we can do something with it. I just don't know what. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I always felt like I was sputtering along. And I also had like these key, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people had this like sayings or something that like you heard a long time ago, and you're like, why do I remember that shit still? And one of the things I remember when I was in my senior year of high school, one of my teachers told me, Miguel, you need to stop selling yourself short. And I actually wrote about it a couple days ago. And I have the answer now. Is the reason why I was selling myself short was because I was short. Not physically, obviously I am, but mentally I wasn't all there. I was only halfway there. Mm-hmm. So it's strange. I mean, it's only been 2 months since I've been kind of sorting this stuff out, but that was definitely, again, the damage I could do to myself. Mm-hmm. And everybody says this to a degree, but like the damage you can do to yourself is significantly worse than anything that can ever happen on the outside. The outside just exacerbates it or maybe assuages it a little bit, but anything you say,
your thoughts, your own kind of thing, you can kill you can murder yourself without murdering yourself. Like literally just like
if I were to think about Terry's day, because I remember a lot of it clearly, very clearly. The cell phone tower, we couldn't get the mortars out to like a certain area, and I was super fucking frustrated. I was like, why can't I just fucking lay waste to this cell phone tower, dude? I want to fucking lay waste to this whole village. But I remember all the frustrations. But shit, I forgot where I was going with this. I think it's a fucking beer. God damn it. But anyways, I'll get back to it.
The cell phone tower was the only tower within the whole valley, so it was an off.
Oh, so you could.
Yeah, it was like
whatever.
It was like a double-edged sword. It was like I could take this cell phone tower out, but everybody's gonna be pissed off at me right now.
It was a hard no. You will not 300 meters off. Yeah.
Damn, I forgot where I was going with it. But anyways,
so I feel like. Hold on, let me pause because I restart these cameras.
How?
But yeah. So Miguel, it sounds like to me like you're such. One of the reasons is, I mean, aside from now you have the ADHD and you're obviously Adderall is effective, but that's just one variable. I think I'm guessing, playing psychologist. Yep. I feel like just the knowing and understanding of your mind just releases so much pressure you had. It just is helping you just understand yourself and feel better and just move forward. Do you think that's it? Understanding yourself?
Yeah, I think I think I started to touch upon it, but I didn't fully express it. So like with the whole PTSD ADD thing, like ADD, I can look at neuropsych lectures and I can read neuropsych books and I can read DSM-5 and I can look at stuff and be like, oh, there's actual mechanical connections that I just don't have. And that's okay. Like there's to no fault of anybody's. Oh, like it's not my parents' fault. Like it's not like they were like, hey, let's snip this shit. So just being able to like, there's something mechanically wrong that drastically affects the way I live, or at least the way I perceive life, period, or that I have in the past. So having that versus like, oh, well, PTSD, maybe you should do some group therapy. And like, I'm not knocking group therapy.
Yeah,
like,
go ride some horses and do group therapy. And like, oh, hey, go play paintball. Like,
right. But like, you know,
God, I hate those shits. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I'm like, oh yeah, we all have problems.
Right.
Like,
It's okay to ride horses if you want.
You know what it
I
is,
love
man?
riding horses. All right, I do.
And
enjoy
with that stuff though, like here's the shit, is like you're not asking real questions. Like this goes back to fear. Like stop looking for answers and get to the fucking truth. Anybody can give you an answer.
Yeah, but how the fuck is PTSD a really fucking diagnosis? Because it's like,
I mean,
like,
there's definitely some merit to it, but it's not mechanical. Like it's not.
but that's like the overarching. That's
Right.
like you're just like, oh, hey, no, definitely PTSD. That's definitely it. Because you were in war, because this would happen. And you're like, and like now you're finding out you're like ADHD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're like holy shit.
I feel like there's definitely some merit to like chemical changes that happen depending on like, not even so much of like how bad the trauma was, but like how did you perceive it?
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, resiliency, as much as I hate to say that word because it's being beaten into us by the military, but there is some merit to it. There's definitely some more resilient motherfuckers than others.
Yeah.
And that's just a fucking fact. So I think, you know, how did you receive that trauma? How do you perceive it now? But again, you got to be honest. Like, you got to be transparent with yourself. You can't just be pussyfooting around, like being like, oh, well, you know, my wife hates me. And like, it's always the same fucking story with dudes.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't like, you know, I'm going to fucking keel over at the age of 47 or 50 and I'm dead. Like, for no reason. I know the reason why. It's because you just kept on bottling all this shit up and you weren't asking real questions.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like you didn't have a male role model in your life, and I think this goes specifically for men, if you feel like you just were lacking something, and I feel like everybody does, at least every male does, no matter how good of a male role model you have, there's still something missing from that one male role model. You can't get everything from one person. And so be the man that you want to be. Be the man that your kids think they are, like, that you are.
Yeah.
You know, like, ask yourself real fucking questions. Don't ask yourself of like, oh, well, maybe if I cut down to 2 beers, it would be a little bit better. Like, no, just ask yourself, really, why do you drink? Like, what are you trying to drown out?
Yeah.
Like, what voice in your head is telling you that you're not enough that gives you the excuse to go drink? Because it really comes down to a question of like, why do I feel like I'm not enough to just keep damaging myself? Why do I keep playing to lose? Am I just playing to play so that I can say that I lost? Or is there something else going on here? But you really got to ask really fucking honest questions. I'm not saying that I have all the answers or that my way is going to work for everybody else, but I still feel like if you get to the truth or the essence or whatever you want to call it, the root of whatever you think your issue is,
Yeah.
that's prohibiting your potential, then ask it.
Yeah.
And be honest about it. Don't, you know, it's okay. I got fucking cry all the time, man. I'll listen to I was listening to Adele the other day, man. I was bawling my fucking face off thinking about my divorce.
But Adele is awesome. Adele does bring
Some powerful
just
shit,
some
man.
powerful stuff.
But that's the fucking truth, man. You know, like the
Right,
fact that
Terry? It's okay to cry, Terry.
I love Adele. I love Celine Dion.
But it's
I don't give a
okay to
fuck.
cry, Terry.
I'll never cry, but
We can go back. We can do a whole podcast in your childhood. Figure that one
yeah,
out.
you know,
well, that's what so I feel like it comes back to, I don't know what philosopher said it, but it comes down to know thyself, and I'm drawing parallels. Are you drawing parallels with you?
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
issues?
No, I know. It's It's you know, like, because you throw this like PTSD thing in and you're like, oh yeah, okay, that does explain it. All right, so I'm just fucked up. But like, then it's like, well,
There's no answer. That's just a one big
like,
answer.
okay, yeah, great, thanks, appreciate it. Like, but like now that, you know, because I love doing these things because you get a different perspective on like what other people are thinking. And like, I'm not saying I have ADHD, but like a lot of the stuff you're saying, I'm like, oh shit, like, fucking memory's a fucking issue. Like that's an issue. Like, yeah. And then like, but you're talking about like be yourself, know thyself. You know what I mean? It's like, and that was
I think a really important
crazy.
I think a really important quote too to go along with that one is if you know that you have an affinity towards something, whether that's painting, music, photography, like if you have an affinity for it or that one thing or even math or something structured, like through one way, know all the ways. And once you start seeing it in just that one thing of like all the parallels of photography and like all the things that you have to line up, like my favorite is music and drawing, because the entire process is you defining the lines, defining the thing that you're trying to draw, the truth of the thing that you want to express. And that's what it comes down to. That's why I love art. Like art is the closest thing I have to God for me, or whether it's music or drawing. But the entire, if you really think about the process of you doing it, whether it's editing a video, like what you're doing is defining the thing that you want to express to an audience, whether that's my daughter or YouTube, right? But that's all you're doing. And it's just through one way, see all of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not saying I see all the ways right now. I'm not fucking Neo, but, you know, little by little, as I learn about myself and learn who I am now completely and fully, I can see the deficiencies that my daughter might have, or my stepchildren, or my partner. And not only that, but if I'm honest about it and I'm kind to myself about it, I can be kinder to others in helping them figure out whatever it is. Like maybe it might not be my way that they use, and that's okay. I don't need anybody to do it my way because it's mine. And that's the best part. I own it. So, you know, it's just all these quotes, you know, you always hear all this stuff, cookie cutter bullshit that everybody always says. Like, you know thyself. Okay, cool. Well, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like if you were to tell me that like a couple of years ago, I'd be like, okay, cool. I look at myself naked all the time after I get out of the shower. I know myself.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you mean by that? But like to really in depth be honest to yourself and like being self-reflective, like you said that last time on the podcast, that you know it's difficult for you to kind of like see it through another perspective because you've always had a strong sense of self, which I always got that even when I first met you. I was like, oh, this guy's going places. I'm not.
I appreciate that.
But you know, like that was the energy that I got. Whether or not you feel like you're there now, but like I always felt like this is a guy who, regardless of what the situation is, he can put his whole person into it, and that speaks for itself through your recovery. I mean, you did a fucking marathon. I haven't even done a marathon, and I have both my legs, and they're fine.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, there's so many things. You just got to be level with yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, like you might be like, well, you know, like there's somebody else who's gotten it worse. Like there's people who don't have their legs. There's people who don't have this, don't have that. Yeah, it can always be worse, but like you still got to be at least appreciative of like the effort that you managed to pull together to do the thing that you needed to do. Like right now, you're doing your shit in the fucking military. You got all these fucking cameras talking about your assholes like us. I mean, whether or not you feel like you're doing it, but you're still doing it. It's just a journey.
I want to. I feel like so. I want to add my bit of my story too, where I feel like I'm on the same page. Like I was making like. I was feeling like I was connecting your story at the same level, where it's kind of like.
Then you lost it. No.
Recently, it's like I've been finding some peace in myself because I started this because I'm like I've been noticing my anger kind of get out of control. You know what I mean? Which really makes me even more angry.
Yep.
And it's like. I was talking to my therapist about it, and you know, obviously, you could. And I I hate trying to like blame other things if it's my fault. If I fuck up, like I want to claim it 100%. But I know to a degree there's got to be something to do with my experiences, you know, like come on, like getting shot and all the, you know, all the violence and whatever not. And what I remember is my therapist, like I feel like maybe she didn't say it, I didn't ask her, but I feel like maybe she was doing a really good job, whereas like she didn't want to tell me per se the answer. She wanted me to find it. And she kept asking about my childhood, which obviously makes sense with therapists too. But she just kept saying something along the lines of like, well, she did see outright, whereas like, because I had that kind of like standard first generation childhood, whereas like I don't see it as abusive, and I don't want to throw it out there to like, you know, blame my parents, but just try and paint it black and white.
It was Asian.
Yeah, it was Asian. And it was like
No, it's true though.
in the other house, and you know, if I told my a lot of stories to you, you'd be like, oh wow, you grew up in a very abusive household. Maybe to a degree.
I grew up in a Puerto Rican household. It was way worse.
Right? Yeah, you know what I mean. So it was like basically my anger response is because of my childhood. It's like you lock up a dog and you kick him so many times, he's gonna be an angry dog.
Yeah.
And so basically my experiences overseas and my training and everything I'd done exasperated that anger.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Something happened when I was experiencing something else and I made that connection. Just making that connection and I was able to say, all right, so this isn't like largely because of my experiences in Afghanistan, but it's also like a byproduct of my experiences. Looking back, it's like
everywhere else too. Like it's
yeah,
your
exactly.
life experiences.
I can say because before I was like I know 100% I don't have PTSD, but I was dealing with all this anxiety and shit. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I couldn't for the longest time. I couldn't put my finger on it. And now I can clearly say it goes back to my childhood, the way I was raised, and the kind of level of anger and violence I learned how to respond. Exasperated with my military experience leads me to where I am now. I don't know why. Just knowing that about myself brought me a world of peace. It's not like I'm a million times better, but it's brought me so much peace. And knowing that, maybe like that, not having that confusion of like, why the fuck am I still getting upset, makes me less angry. Is that how you feel now that you know a little bit more, just you've unlocked about why you are?
Yeah. My thing with especially this round of therapy, I had two like god tier therapists through the vet center. One through the vet center, one through the VA. Like he's an actual psychologist, and I ended up losing them. Like they got promoted, of course, like all good therapists. So I was like, man, I can't do this shit again, man. I can't go through like the needle in a haystack, try to find a good one. And I just happened to.
And then you're like telling your whole story again. You're like, all right, so here's this, and then they're like, oh fuck.
But the difference this time was that like I was a father already. I was 33, so I had gone through a lot of shit, and I like all this stuff was just it was just boxes of fucking storage and bullshit that I just
tabled stuff.
It was just there in a closet, and my objective going into it was I want to start from the beginning. I don't want to fuck around with trying to. Why would I try to sort out a math problem at the end and then try to figure out how the fuck I got there?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get to the beginning, whatever it is that I remember. But yes, my childhood, 100%. Like, you know, and I just did like kind of like my own like audio log for me to listen to. It was like 2.5 hours long. It's fucking ridiculous. And so you know, I'm always a big proponent of the rule of 3, like whether that's in relationships or just in life in general. Like I'm a big fan of that because I feel like it's fucking true.
It's very true.
Fight me on it. And so, you know, growing up, you know, I have my mechanical deficiencies of ADD that I don't know and nobody else does because I'm not bouncing off the walls. I'm not freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
That way. And then I also have the environment. I have parents that are significantly older. They were born in the 50s. So you got like post World War II era lunchbox. I'm eating spam out of a fucking can. Like we don't have water, that kind of mentality. So it's just like yours, like first generation, like just like be a doctor, be an astronaut, like all these fucking ridiculous expectations. But I couldn't even meet them because I had ADD. So I went through my entire, when I was 5, the one, like, I feel like defining moment when I was a kid was, long story short, I had a teacher that was way older. She was like 80. And she shit on me. She called me a mongrel and like all these, like, basically she could have just said,
Wow. Yeah.
Insert Latinx slur here. I'm not going to say that. But that's all that was left to be said. So not only do I have a deficiency mechanically that I don't know, my parents aren't educated enough to have that discussion with me or even see it. And then I'm forced to go through school with all these deficiencies, getting pulled out, being called all the slurs. And then on top of that, not knowing, like, I couldn't read, I couldn't fucking do math, I couldn't do any of this shit. So I just learned all the slick shit of cheating, manipulating people, using my victimhood, even though I didn't know what it was, to kind of subvert and get the things that I needed to survive. It's just a survival mechanism, right? So, and then I feel like where the rule of 3 comes in is your puberty. That's where your real consciousness like comes into play of like, yo, like, these bitches are looking fucking good. And like, you got this like third voice. Like, okay, I have the Puerto Rican Catholic person in me. Then I have this weird, strange outside environment. And then now I have hormones kicking in. I have no clue what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
And I couldn't put any of that stuff together until I got to the military because none of school is structured. So once I got to the military, that's where like the contrast of my entire life. It was like, I think of the military as like my final training exercise of putting all those 3 things together and understanding it. Like, why could I do certain things and why can I not do these other things? Like, it doesn't add up. Like it does. It would piss me the fuck off.
Doesn't it feel weird how you feel like you belong in the infantry when you're around those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're all the fucking same.
Yeah, because we're all the same. And
We're all fucked up in our own way.
And I don't know if I said this already, but like I was telling Terry, I'm like, in my very humble opinion, if you're fucked up in whatever way that looks like, when you get into the military prior to that, like if you had a fucked up childhood trauma, whatever you want to call it, and you're not all there, then it's just going to make it way worse.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love the infantry and I love my guys, but like they don't, nothing about the military teaches you, and this is not just the infantry, this is exclusive to like all the military. Like one of the strange conversations that I feel like, I don't know why we never had it, was like, why didn't we ever have a conversation about like, what is it like to take a man's life? Like, why was that conversation never tabled? Because I guarantee you a lot of dudes would be like, well, I don't feel as bad about it now because like we get to talk about it. Like, what do you guys think about the afterlife? What are you guys beliefs on all these things? We just go in and just like, hey, put your M4. Hey, you speak M4, motherfucker? No. All right, clap. Yeah. There's no honor. There's no nobility. There's no, so we're left to our own devices to draw up whatever narrative we can come up with. Sometimes the narrative is not that fucking great. Other times, like, we try to cling on to that warrior poet. I like to think of myself as a warrior poet, but at least for my own narrative, but like none of those heavy conversations, those real conversations that you hear you read in books of like,
Well, you're thinking that like when like so, and my thought too when I was joining the military, like oh we're gonna do some Band of Brothers shit, or we're gonna do some like we're gonna fucking storm the beaches of fucking Iwo Jima, and like all this stuff that like, there's some like there's honor, there's like an enemy, they're always there, like they're over there, you're over here, you got different uniforms on, like, and that there's like some sort of like honor code piece with it,
right?
But obviously with Afghanistan, with like all that stuff, like it didn't really happen that way,
right?
But like, and I'm not saying that's the reason for it, but like, and, like I feel like if I was born in like World War II like era, like and you were a soldier in World War II, like maybe it would have been easier because there's a definite enemy,
right?
And it was like that enemy was wearing uniform and doing this and doing that, like, and it was a stand-up war, whereas now you're just like, it's not so black and white,
Right.
to an extent.
I'm gonna flip that that suicide bomber story on its head, because this is another thing that I've been thinking about. One of the things that really the dichotomy of like that entire image of like the girls on the tarp and the fact that like all those hopes and dreams and potential and love and all the things that you could have in a human life gone in an instant.
Yep.
But to a degree, I also felt pity for the suicide bomber, purely because he felt that he believed so hard and that he was going to meet God, regardless if he's going to get virgins or not. But he felt so righteous in the way that he wanted to conduct himself that he would be willing to kill himself. Yeah. And in the end, he fucking missed.
Yeah.
And then not only that, he killed his own countrymen.
Yep.
And not only that, it wasn't even the ones that were uniformed.
Yeah.
So like, those are your last breaths. I felt sad for him. I was like, man, you fucking blew.
You really fucked this one up.
You really fucked this one up. And not only that, you get to drown in your own blood in your lungs right now on the side of the street while the infidel looks at you having the opportunity to save your life, but we decided not to. The irony in that entire fucking, this is why I keep it, man. It's powerful. That's why I keep it, because you have two sides of the extremes.
Yeah.
Like literally fucking extremes.
Absolutely.
Like you have something that doesn't even have a concept of what it is to believe, and the other one gave their life for it, but they couldn't even succeed at it. That is,
yeah, it's profound.
You know what's interesting? And then now I feel a little guilty because I'm making this about myself.
no, go for it.
But
I've been talking about myself for like an hour, dude.
none of those. Well, because it seems like that's such a strong memory to you, and yeah, I have strong memories, but like none of that ever enters my mind. The only thing I think about is Lou. That's it. That's the only thing I walk away from Afghanistan. I don't think about my firefights.
Yeah.
I don't think about the day I was shot. I don't think about much of anything. I think about Lou.
Lou fucks me up pretty hard, and Bittner. Those are definitely the two.
Yeah, but Lou is just like, he was like a dude that just, like, he wore everything. Like and I don't know. I mean, maybe he'd be in this conversation right now and he'd have a totally different like aspect of it, or who knows. But
Lou was
to Lou.
Hey, to Lou. Fuck
To
yeah.
Lou, man.
fucking Lou.
To Lou.
When he was in the hospital, I don't know if it was the first or second time I visited him. Like I'm like, you could see him. He's like laying on his bed. He's like, oh, fucked up his tube, and he's just waking up. The nurses there, and like I think I slept the night in the room. So I woke up. I was waiting there, and then he was like, fuck yeah. And then I could see it too. He goes, and then the nurse got closer, and she goes, she felt awkward saying it. But she goes, he's saying he's gonna beat your ass. I was like, yeah,
I got that. Buddy. Yeah, no, I mean, like, and we've talked about Lou before or whatever, but like, and so fucking funny story to like tie this all in. So after I got my fucking DUI after getting back from deployment, I get fucking told to go to counseling. Like, you have to do the fucking vet court thing.
All that shit.
And then fucking, so we show up to this fucking group in the fucking Warwick, and I'm fucking sitting there. There's like a fucking, like a Vietnam vet there. There's like a bunch of dudes there. And then there's fucking Lou.
Lou Capaldi.
He fucking shows up in my fucking therapy session. Like, after like knowing Lou prior to, be like, and he was still fucking Lou. He's the same fucking dude. Like, he's not like all of us are like, ah, shit, I fucked up. And Lou's like, nah, fuck yeah, let's go to the bar. I'm like, all right, let's go to the bar, Lou. Like, you know what I mean? And that's like a different aspect. And I don't know if you got off easy. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what the fuck happened? But like, you know, you never know what, like, how he could have turned out differently, but like it's
right,
you know. And Lou was always Lou. Like, he didn't like, he never changed anything what he was about, and he was always there to like, I don't know.
I know what you mean, man.
He's a tough.
I only knew Lou just off of that tour, so like my image of Lou is whenever I think of him, I always think of there's a picture of him like standing on like a saddle or like a side of a mountain or some shit. And it was him, like, you know, he had his kind of like, he's kind of doing like, not really like a Captain Morgan pose, but like he was on a hill. So it was like, he had his foot up and he just had like that fucking brow, you know, that fucking Lou brow, just staring into your fucking soul. Like he's just gonna beat you with a club. And I mean that with all love.
Yeah.
And every time I hear the lyrics, "Walking Tall Machine Gun Man," nobody else comes up other than him. And I was a machine gunner, so I don't even put myself like he was. It's odd, right? Because like we always want these guys around. Like, I mean, how fucking awesome would this fucking podcast would be, Lou?
It'd be a very different podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
It would be, but that's okay. But it would be a Lou podcast.
It would be a Lou podcast.
It'd be Lou's podcast,
right?
Yeah.
But it all comes down to, again, I wasn't there for the end, so to speak. Same thing with Bittner. But I always have this, I don't know, like I only got a chance to go on one outside the wire mission with you guys, and I happened to be with Lou, and we were like kind of set up a half-ass OP somewhere, and I'll never forget it, man. It's just like you said, like Lou is Lou. Like there's nothing else. Like there's nobody else like him.
He's a movie character, larger than life.
I mean, the closest thing would be Animal Mother from fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
That to me is the definition of Lou. If I were to explain it to somebody,
Yes, keep going. I'm gonna start.
But yeah, I to this day, man, I love that motherfucker.
Yeah, that dude's fucking and like he never changed. Like like so he was in the lurks with me and Terry.
Yep.
And then they went on the deployment with him, Lou, and Lamro. And like and then
Steve-O.
yeah, and so you never really heard anything until fucking Terry got hit or whatever, and then after that, and then like seeing Lou again, like literally pop up, and I was like, dude, you haven't fucking changed like a fucking like nothing, like literally like
unfazed,
like
bro.
he is just like Lou is fucking Lou, and he never phased, never changed. Like literally, we're in fucking therapy for AA or whatever the fuck, and he's like, all right, let's go to the bar, and he's like, all right, another one. No, yeah. What's your name? Oh, I don't care. Give me that one. Like he's just like,
I definitely
crazy,
fell in love with the essence of him. Like anytime I saw him, like whether it was in a chow hall or waiting in line, it was just like I said, man, it's just Lou. It's just Lou. That's it. Yeah. And you only knew him as like occasionally they'd be like Capaldi, blah blah blah, but it was like, nah, that's Lou.
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know, it's weird. It's like Messi or like fucking like some famous like Ronaldo or like some famous soccer player. Like it's just Lou. That's it.
Yeah.
The walking tall machine gun man.
So I didn't mean to digress completely.
No, not at all, man.
But when I think of Afghanistan, like I said, I'm not haunted by anything really. But I think of Lou. It's just I was. Does anything haunt you about Afghanistan then? Nothing. Okay.
No, I honestly I just miss that primal cavemanish living.
Easiness.
That's just
easiness.
Yeah, no thinking. I mean, yeah, like
that's the best. That's the best way. That's the best way I describe it. It's just like such an easy life.
There was a post a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it's still on my Instagram, but I remember saying, and this is way before I started really delving into any of this stuff, that like I missed how present I was overseas, like because there was nothing else to think about. There's no bills. There's no.
Yeah.
It was just. Did we put in the ammo requisition? All right, cool. Are we doing a night shoot? No? All right, cool. I'm going to go watch some Blacks on Blondes. Word. Like, it's just simple. It was just...
Simple life, man.
Simple. Like, I miss that just visceral physicality, that almost kind of like unspoken warrior, kind of Spartan honor that... we had like, because we knew like we were like on the side of a fucking nobody's gonna come to us.
Yeah,
like it's just us and them, and that's it. So that just that melting pot of just fucking amazing human beings. Between our first sergeant was amazing.
Yeah, our
commander fucking amazing.
Yep.
Our XO, god tier XO, fucking Laro.
Hilarious.
Love that motherfucker.
Yeah,
he's a dentist right now. And like it almost, I don't know how it was with your on your tour, but like the characters, like kind of going back to like the entire narrative of like, what the fuck was that captain's name? the bald guy. He was like civil affairs.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
sounded
He
like
was there the day we got hit. Yeah, yeah.
He was like, "Oh no, Basil
He was a nice
Robbie."
dude. He was a nice dude.
Yeah, he was a fucking. He was a like a head nurse at like in a Louisiana emergency room.
Yeah,
like
shit.
all these characters like
Yeah.
that we had. I know you remember Reza. That motherfucker was psycho. Oh, yeah. But like,
Yeah.
but still, like it wouldn't be that deployment.
It's like
without-
fucking Seinfeld, man.
Yeah.
Like those fucking like those dudes are just like,
here comes the fucking
like,
douchebag commander.
What the fuck? Yeah, we had a fucking so we were the PRT or whatever.
Yeah.
We had this
times.
lieutenant colonel that was Air Force.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Was he a dick?
dude, he was just, I think he was just so like, I'm gonna help these people. I'm gonna solve the world, like solve Afghanistan in my own little thing.
My heart goes out to you.
And, because I remember like the last fucking mission we did, we fucking we were getting ready to leave. We were our fucking base was getting shut down, so we were shutting down like Metalam, like fucking totally shutting down.
Pour
fucking
40
moving
out,
away.
bro.
Like
I miss
legit.
that place.
And then so we were shutting it down, fucking moving out. We were gonna drive out to Kabul the next day and like get a new mission there.
Yep.
And this was like the last 2 months of my deployment. And he's like, "Oh, we need to go say bye to the governor." I'm like,
Oh God.
"Really?
What the
like, what the fuck has that guy ever done for us? Like nothing." So he's like, "All right, let's go." So we go out to the fucking governor compound. We fucking go out there. He's like, "Oh, hey, come have some tea and some chive and whatever." Fucking, we're like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. Like, we're just fucking here because we're here." And then on the way back, we fucking go through this procession that some fucking Kiowa dudes murked dude down, like right at the crossroads of like when you go up Route 1 or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Highway 1 or whatever.
Yep.
And so like right at the crossroads, they fucking murked this dude, and then like they're like saying that he wasn't a fucking Taliban or whatever. And so they're like literally running this procession as we're doing the KLE, and they end up like in between us and like Metalam. And so now we have to drive through the fucking funeral procession. So we're like, okay, like fucking sweet. And at the time, like you would fucking, if there was a giant group of people, like we would just be like, all right, fucking batten down the hatches, fucking whatever. Like don't even.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about, man.
Guns down, fucking. Let's just fucking. We're gonna roll through this fucking thing, and all of a sudden, fucking cinder blocks and this and that. And like the fucking kids were throwing shit. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, Afghanis would be the best baseball players ever. Like they could fucking throw.
Dude.
Like the little kids could throw fucking goddamn cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they fucking deadline all of our vehicles, and like when we get back to base, every window that could have been damaged got damaged, and we're like, literally have to drive to Kabul tomorrow. Like what the fuck? Like, so we're up all fucking night trying to get these trucks fucking ready to go, fucking whatever. And I'm just like, all of it was because one dude just was like, I gotta help the people. I gotta help them all. Like at that point, we fucking knew, like, these dudes are gonna fucking figure it out. Like whatever.
That's the one thing I will say about the PRT that I was a part of. And I'm gonna look right into the camera and say it. Because I think he's a general now. General Braden Camp. That motherfucker. He was like the best. He was like, look, here's the deal. We're gonna do the PRT shit. When the bullets start flying, you guys take over.
Yeah.
We're not going to step on your fucking dicks. You let us know if you need somebody to fucking man a 50 or something like that, because the Air Force also has a thing where like they don't have to do tower duty and they don't have to do all these things.
Yeah, like the headquarters element.
Yeah,
whatever.
big fucking facts. I'm spitting facts here.
Okay.
So,
Now, but yeah.
but he worked very closely with our PL and our platoon sergeant. So like that symbiotic relationship of like
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
nobility, respect, and like, hey, like, you know, we know what the fuck we're doing, so don't step on our dicks, just protect us and let us do our thing. When the bullets start flying, you guys take over. Simple as that.
Yep.
Done. And he was always objective. I mean, at that point I was a E2, E3 or something like that, so I wasn't really singing on the meetings, but I would always catch wind of everything And yeah, like that to me was like the definition of. I had two really good commanders. I had this other guy, Colonel Fagan. This guy was a 10th Mountain Light Colonel, and he was like, their whole thing was like the whole, like they literally, their whole shit was like the whole Spartan motto of like, with your shield or on it.
Yeah.
But he had like, again, I don't know, man. It's just something about commanders. Like they don't just make them like they used to.
Yeah.
Like he just had that like stoic, I'm going to stand on top of a fucking mountain. I remember we were doing left seat, right seat with the Marines because that's who we took over for in Medellin. And he was the commander and he was just standing like we were getting shot at. We just got hit by an IED. Like my truck had, this is my first, very first mission ever in Afghanistan. We just missed an IED. It just clipped the back of our Humvee and we stopped. Instead of gas and go, like stopped. And I'm watching all the Marines like just, they're like, take the hill. And they rode up the hill and you see the command, Colonel Fagan. He's just like, with his pistol. He's just like, you're getting us from over there. I'm like, what? I mean, this is exactly how it is in the movies. What the hell is this? This is nuts.
Yeah.
I remember I tapped out. I had a 240, 249. I was like, you guys take the top. I'll take the middle. I'll take this cover over here. I'm for clap talk amongst yourselves.
To like put it in perspective, like I remember the sergeant major went on a mission with us one time, and he was Army sergeant major, but he was I think he was a tanker or something like that. Anyway, so we get something goes down. I think that time I think we rolled over an IED. One of our fucking trucks got fucking hit, and then we were like, all right, just keep fucking rolling, and because the Max Bros were fucking awesome at that point.
Yeah,
like you could fucking and. The dude, I remember, fucking gets down off the ramp, and then he's like fucking finding any cover, and he's like in the phone, and we're all just like, dude, it's probably one dude. Like, come on, like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, dude, the fucking trigger man's already gone, man. Yeah. Like, we're fucking, like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
fucking run,
you know. And he just like. And I just remember like being like all fucking like all like hardcore like fucking like and we're just like fucking staring at him, looking at him. I'm like, what the fuck? Get back in the truck, son. What the fuck, dude?
I remember my first patrol.
It was just like,
all right,
fuck, dude. Like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's that whole fucking thing, Afghanistan, man.
I think it's also funny to like think back to like a lot of these situations. Like, obviously they were terrifying most of the time. When I wouldn't even say terrifying, it was just like, oh shit, something that happened. Yeah. But like how preposterous the situations were. Like if you just really take yourself out of it and just be like,
yeah,
like it's just preposterous.
I just remember a meeting right now where like, oh, so we heard they got like the hands on a dozen RPGs. They're strapping suicide bombs on kids now, so we're not going to hand out any candy. And we're just like, what the fuck? We're not going to live tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're not coming
Your
back.
brief was significantly different than ours. Like,
you remember
there's
that?
only one mirror on that.
You remember that? At some point, we had those boxes and boxes of fucking candy sitting up in the, yeah. I was really sad for those kids.
You know.
It takes one suicide bomber, ruin everything.
What that fucking, so first time we go out the wire.
One rotten apple.
Fucking, we ripped with a unit, and they were, actually it was the fucking Mountain Company guys from 182. We ripped with them.
I know that.
And they were running RGs. So those fucking RGs are like, yeah, they're pretty good or whatever. But we had like these new Max Pros that like we literally picked up from fucking JBAD and then drove them up there and then had to drive the RGs back. And so the RGs had like, you know how they have all the outer compartments? Yeah. Well, like they were all like lockable. Like you could lock all the individual compartments, and you couldn't open them from the outside unless you fucking I forget what the fuck you had to do. But the Max Bros didn't. So we fucking go on mission one day, and like fucking we're driving down the road, and then all of a sudden fucking there's like a fire extinguisher falling out. Like the kids are grabbing shit like out of our truck. We're just like fucking, they got MREs, they got fucking water, they got fucking all this stuff, and I'm like, I guess we probably should lock those compartments because those fucking kids are just fucking insane.
Everything was always getting stolen. Like we used to have the MREs in the back and all the shit on the Humvees. And like everything would just, by the time we came back, like we were missing fuel cans and fucking all sorts of dumb shit.
It's just, just is what it is.
I gotta take a piss real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah.
So, hey, so did you, when you guys left Medellin, did you guys have to go through Highway 1 to drive back, or did you guys fly?
We drove. We drove from Medellin to Kabul.
How fucking beautiful is that ride, dude?
Fucking beautiful until you get to until you get to. So you go down south to like Highway 1. Fucking beautiful. There's like a giant fucking lake down the bottom there.
Yep.
And then we took a right
Yep.
Kind of went through like
Yeah, because you only.
I
I
forget-
don't know if it's still a T intersection,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Like you can go left to JBAD
Yeah.
and right to.
yeah. So we go right
Yep.
and I forget what the fuck Khyber Pass or something
Yep.
like that.
The Khyber Pass. Khyber Pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you fucking go in it, right? And there's like white rocks all on
Oh yeah.
the side
Trust
of the
me,
wall.
I remember.
whatever.
I did that shit
And
6
they're-
times.
Yeah, and they're all like fucking like old fucking minefields and shit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so we're driving through, and there's literally like 1,000-foot cliffs on each side.
Oh, yeah.
right. And
I used to have a picture
like
of him.
like the fucking 50 couldn't even
Yeah.
like go up there, and we're like,
Yeah.
fuck, like let's go. And then the fucking trailer, the trailer fucking locks up, and like the brakes catch fire. And
Oh,
we're-
no.
And we're like, oh fuck! Like, so we stop in the middle of the Khyber Pass. We're just like,
no.
oh my god,
And I'm-
this is bad. This is real bad.
And I don't think people understand like how big those cliff sides are. Like,
Dude, like literally 1,000 feet.
like it's some Lord of the Rings shit. Like
Yeah.
some like.
and
We're
like
going through the fucking
then
pass of Moria, bro.
Yeah. And then-
like
and
this
then-
is what we're fucking
and then
doing
to
right
our,
now.
To our right is this fucking river with fucking Russian tanks in it.
Yes,
and we're just
like
like
they're all flipped over.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're all just like, holy fuck!
Dude, you're like the only person I know that's done it. That's fucking awesome. That's
and we're
fucking
like, this is not good, not a good situation. Literally, like 2 guys with RPGs on the top of those fucking mountains
you-
would fuck us up.
Do you remember
Like,
the
literally fuck us up?
Do you remember like the switchback area? I don't remember what part of it was.
Yeah,
It's
it was like
this-
the lower bottom.
But you
edge
got
of
like
it,
you
whatever.
literally go switchback.
Yeah.
It's like 7 or 8
yeah, to
in
get
a
out.
row.
I think it's to get out going south, right?
Yes, to keep like if you're coming from Metalam,
Yeah.
you have to go all the way up just to get to Kabul.
Yeah.
because eventually, like you
Yeah.
know, once that's like home stretch, then you get to the outside
Yeah.
of the city.
And then it's like chill.
But dude, we got stuck on the way back. So this is for context. When I got to Afghanistan, I was only 18 and I did not have my driver's license. I only practiced in my fucking driveway. And my platoon sergeant, Pete, love you, boy, he was like, "Hey, you're going to be our driver." Like towards the end of the tour, like they were like, we're short on people. Like everybody's going on leave. They're like, "You're going to be our driver." And we left, I think it was like midnight or
Yeah.
some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's about the same
we
time
always
we
did
left.
night. We always did night ops. Like any drives that we did, like were at night. We got stuck in a fucking traffic jam because there was a landslide at the bottom of that switchback. So we're stuck behind jingle trucks,
Oh yeah,
Toyota Corollas,
crazy.
everything. And I'm like, and at that point, I think I had been driving for 10 hours straight, like no brakes, all Red Bulls, and I was like dying. And I'm like, I think we're probably gonna die on this. Like we're stuck in a fucking traffic jam on the only road in the entire country.
Yeah.
Never again. Like I remember making it. We made it, I think, in the afternoon. Like we
yeah.
started at midnight and we got there. We got to Metalam like probably 06 the next day, the day after, or something like that. I was dead. It was fucking terrifying too. Like I'm like, you can't do anything, and like you would drive by certain trucks and like, but it's only one road. So and you know how thin it is. Like
Yeah.
you can't fit a jingle truck and a Humvee through. So like we had to pick and choose the sections that we got, and then we would just stay there and we're like, hey, hopefully we don't die. Let's go.
And we were there for like an hour, right in the middle of that fucking pass, like with a fucking
Yeah.
trailer down.
Hey,
And we're
did
just
you
like,
guys ever?
Fuck.
There was an alternate route that we had to take where
We didn't. So that was only the one trip we ever took from Kabul to
because that's the way we used to do our resupplies because we used to come like we used to
because we
bring
got everything through JBAD
Yep.
or through the air coming in at that.
there was an alternate pass that we had to take and we only took it once and it was like some skeevy like if you guys ever played like Red Dead
Yeah.
or like you look at have you ever watched like a Bonanza where like they have those old coal mines and shit like it was like we passed by a coal mine and it was just like you're just gonna go up to the tippity top of this mountain that nobody's ever been on top of and you're gonna look down. It was about like 10 or 11,000 feet and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? I like look down, I'm like, I can't even see, I can barely see the rivers.
Yeah.
It was fucking easy. It's
So
fucking-
yeah,
but it's
so
beautiful
that,
though.
That fucking trip. Oh, Afghanistan is beautiful. Like, cause even like walking around Metalam, like going up to like Al Shang or Alan, go, dude, Alashang, the right one, whatever the right.
Yeah, Alangar.
So like you got it looks like fucking like Vietnam. Like we got fucking like beautiful fucking like farms and like they got the fucking irrigation down on lock. Like they dude, it's fucking like I remember walking through like bamboo forest that like everything was like all in line and I'm like, what the fuck, these fucking people?
It was like
it's like fucking ancient fucking horrors, but it's goddamn they know what they're
valleys, doing. So we were in Alashang Valley, right? Alashang Valley is like Afghanistan without cable.
Yeah.
And Alangar Valley is Afghanistan with DirecTV.
I was gonna say that wasn't our experience.
Well, that's what I mean. You go up like because that's what I was asking.
so green.
Which side was nice?
It's so green.
And I remember like we went up halfway up Alangar on the right, right?
Yep.
Went up like halfway up, and then we had to stop at some village there. And then we fucking got on these, and somebody's got a picture of it too. We had to go across the river.
Yeah.
And so like
I know.
we
I think I know
had
where
to get off on foot, go across the fucking river on this fucking
footbridge, right?
this
Was it a
footbridge.
footbridge? Yes.
That was like,
I know this.
dude, it was like Indiana Jones footbridge. Like literally like, and that's when like you were talking about like how you like, if this would have happened, we would have been fucked. So like, dude, if any one of us, cause at that point we were rocking plate carriers. Cause like, we were just like fuck those IOTVs and like,
dude, I had
IBAs or whatever.
I had the full IO,
and we were
IBA
like,
with a dick plate. And
no
everything.
way, man. So we fucking like are rocking across, and then I'm like, dude, if we fall in this fucking river, dude, we're fucked. Like I am like 100 pounds heavier than like, like I am literally like with all the shit on me, like I am 100 pounds heavier. Yeah. Like I am just gonna get swept away in this fucking river. And we go to like we walk across the other side, whatever, and I'll never forget too because we got the picture of it because we had a fucking combat photographer with us.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And we were walking back across the thing, and like fucking like everybody overseas, like literally fucking throw up your fucking sleeves because it was a fucking nice day. And so I'm like walking across the thing, fucking badass picture. I'm like whatever. It's you know, it's a cool picture.
Hey, be proud of him, man.
Yeah. But so
Nobody
I get
else
back,
gets those.
But I get back to base, and then like, dude, it was like 2 hours later. And they fucking called me into a meeting, this fucking light colonel that I was talking to you about, the Air Force dude. And he was like, oh, what's happening right here? What is this? I was like,
Soldier of Fortune, motherfucker.
I was like, walking across the fucking bridge. He's like, yeah, but what about your sleeves? I'm like, that's going to protect me? Yeah. That like, oh, God. So I had such a fucking, I had such a chip on my shoulder. Like I was a corporal. I signed my paperwork for E5 right on the deployment, and then never got promoted on deployment,
bro.
And like had like congressmen from fucking Rhode Island come and be like, oh, it's happening, and I'm just like, yeah, great, thanks. And like so I'm a fucking really angry corporal and just taking it out on really anything that fucking can fucking do whatever. Anyway, so
I feel your pain on that.
So I fucking I remember I smashed my head fucking getting into the fucking the Max Pro one time, and I fucking smashed my head to go to the fucking medics, whatever. They're like, you're good, whatever. And then I was like, okay, cool, you know, all the stuff. And then we go to Kabul, and so now we're at Kabul, and I remember like just being so frustrated with like how the medical piece was going, like how fucked up, like I still have. Like my fucking brain hurts still from that hit. Like I know it does. And fucking, so nothing really to that story, but like just, so now we're in charge of like this police station bullshit. Like we have to like work with the police or the AMPs and fucking do this stuff. So we go there or whatever. And like, we're, you know, still like hearts and minds. Right. So we get there, and one of the police guys like fucking comes up, and he's like running over his kid, and I think I've told this story on this podcast before or whatever, but the kid's got fucking giant ball cancer, wicked bad. Like fucking, he's just fucking 10-year-old, fucking 6-year-old, whatever. Yeah. And we're like, fuck, like at least we can do is probably like get him some care, you know, whatever. Right. So we fucking go do that, and this is like the one of the two things that really bugs me from Afghanistan, right? And it has nothing to do with the fucking war. It's just like literally like the fucking politicized bullshit that goes on with it. So like we get back to base, and we're like, hey, like this is what happened. Like we want to get this kid fucking taken care of, whatever. So we bring the kid, like, hey, show up here, bring him to the medical tent, and like they fucking show up, and they do some screenings or whatever, and nothing crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like they're not doing anything. And then like the doctor gives them like Flintstone vitamins. It's like, hey, here you go. Like, here you go.
Some motion for your big balls.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, whatever. And like, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I fucking lost my fucking shit when the fucking like the PAO, whatever, like the public affairs people show up, and they show up, and all of a sudden they got cameras out. Now every fucking doctor in that place goes to this fucking kid and is like, oh, here you go, like doing the fucking stethoscope thing, like here you go, oh, getting my picture taken, sweet, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm like, are you like in the middle of this whole thing? Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking piece of shit, to like light colonels and stuff. I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. You get him fucking Flintstone vitamins. Like, least you could do is get him to fucking goddamn care somewhere in fucking Germany or wherever the fuck.
Dude,
like,
I feel that.
Yeah, okay, the kid's got to get his balls chopped off, but like, whatever. At least it fucking, you want this hearts and minds bullshit, like stuff. And from that point on, I couldn't go to the med thing without a escort, but but that was like their like thing of it, like all right, so you're preaching these hearts and minds, but now we're trying to take care of this one fucking kid, and you are just gonna fucking make a photo op out of it. And I was just like, and that besides fucking one of our dudes like getting fucking fucked up, that one thing is the one thing that I'm like, dude, that, and if that's PTSD, then sure. But I don't know what it is.
That's what I wanted to ask you too, because as we've heard, Miguel is kind of like, I guess, epiphany, and me listening to Miguel kind of helped. Huh?
I said many of them.
Yeah.
I've had a ton, dude.
And I kind of been connecting my dots as I listen to his story as well. What about you, man? You feel like you've been connecting any dots, with your shit?
Yeah, I think hearing you talk about that, like maybe I had some stuff probably before the deployment that like kind of exacerbated some stuff, and I'd love to maybe ask about that when I'm out of the military.
Yeah.
But like which sucks, because now you're like, oh well, you can't just go do that now.
Here's a pro tip. Go civilian side.
Yeah.
And don't fucking talk to anybody in the fucking military. Keep it to your fucking self.
Yeah.
Civilian side is the way to go.
Yeah, no, definitely. So besides from that, like I'm like, the stuff you're saying makes like perfect sense, because I was like, fucking ADD, like I've never fucking tried the ADD thing. Like maybe that is a fucking issue, because I do, like the stuff you're saying, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like fucking remembering names and fucking people, and like I have a fucking shitty memory, so that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I took a lot more from Afghanistan. I don't know if it was because we weren't in firefights every day, and we were getting blown up here and there, but it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't as Spartan or warrior type, like as what I thought of war being. And it was like those instances where like we're here for this one thing, and now you don't want to do it, like so like the kid thing, like tons of kids there, whatever. But like, I was like, what the fuck are we doing as a like, as humankind, right? We're supposed to be here, like doing something for people.
That's why I'm getting at with a nobility thing, like that noble, like knight.
But yet when we try and do it, or like it was some sort of effect to do it, it was just fucking stomped on, and I was just like, I really thought like that we were here for the people,
right?
And then to realize that it wasn't that, and I was just like,
it's hearts and minds only until it.
Yeah, it's hearts
only
and
as long
minds
as it suits us, or it suits the public perception.
Yeah, and I think that's why like Afghan, and then that brings up the whole other. So like, I don't know if you listened to anything before or whatever, but the one of the dudes we lost, we actually like, it was a fucking. I don't know if you
just hit me with it, man. Just
yeah. So
let's
like,
talk about it.
We literally like, we were at the firing range, and like all, how the kids are all about the brass casings. They're fucking crazy about them whenever you're at the range.
Yeah. Forgot about
that. So we fucking mount up. We're like getting ready to leave, and then fucking kids just let go. They fucking lose it. And our fucking PL was like, hey, like, let's go, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And we still had dismounts. So one of the dismounts fucking got under the truck and fucking like literally under the truck. You know, he didn't survive because we ran over him. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so that's like, and it wasn't war. It was just
Right.
a fucking shitty incident
Right.
happen.
Right.
But like, that's when I think about Afghanistan and that, like, the issues I have,
Yeah.
it's because of those incidents, not so much like the wartime incident.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like weird.
Oh, so just so I understand it correctly, so the dismount passed away because he was trying to get to a kid, or
Yeah, that was
Okay.
like under the truck or whatever.
Okay.
You know, trying to get
Gotcha.
him out or whatever. And it's like, and it's been obviously a hot fucking minute since it happened, but like still to this day, I'm like, and I was the rear gunner in the rear truck.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, I'm gonna sit here in this truck because it's my job,
Right.
to like be like the rear security
Right.
now.
Right.
Like, I want to get out. Like, I want to fucking go help.
Right.
And it was just being like dispatched to that where you can't help or can't do anything.
Yeah, the helplessness.
And it's just like that has been one thing that's like fucking held me on for such a long time. So that's why, like, when you guys talk about it and it's like all those incidents, like, I think I would have been better if he got fucking shot on a fucking mission.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Like, I think he would have been like,
Almost kind of justifiable.
like
to
I
a
would have been
degree.
like, fuck yeah, like, we lose people.
Right,
Like, it
right.
happens. But like the fact that like we ran over our dude, it kind of fucking hurts a lot.
Definitely.
So it's like a tough one to like kind of come across.
Yeah.
And that's why, so like, I'd say like there's like levels of PTSD where
For sure.
people like kind of talk about it, and like you don't have it because you associate it with war. But then like when that war comes into effect of like it is a traumatic incident and you're trying to figure it out,
Right.
and like trying to like talk about it. And that's like my big issue is that like it wasn't a wartime incident. I
Right.
feel
Right.
like, you know.
Now,
Yeah, please.
now you
please,
you can say red light if you want to.
No, please.
Because I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah, please do.
As compassionately as I can, because I totally understand.
Open another beer because that's what I do. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Guys, I got my mouth shut.
So I 100% understand the helplessness, right? Like very similar to Terry's situation. I felt very helpless. Maybe that's where I was going before, where I forgot where I was going, but like I felt super helpless. Like I was an infantry. I'm an infantry guy first, and then a mortar guy second. Like that's just the way I was born into the military, so to speak. So I felt this level of helplessness because it's like the one thing that I can do, I cannot do. So I'm just playing the part as Terry bleeds on the side of a mountain. Now, and I think that there's some parallels to like what I was telling you about, like, you know, with the suicide bomber situation. Or even maybe when our guys got killed in September, the first two KIAs that we got, like they had mail in their truck, like in the trailer. Like it wasn't like, you know, we were doing some badass shit or we fucking Black Hawked into a fucking compound or anything like that. Like we were literally doing a supply run, and they were just getting mail for us, and they just got destroyed along with like 85 other kids in the city. So here's my, and I think this just goes to what do you, like, how do you feel? This goes kind of along with like, how do you feel about like when somebody dies or like yourself? So like the way I've always looked at it, Staff Sergeant Paul and Sergeant First Class Meredith, those are the two that were killed in Kabul. And, you know, on one hand, I could say they died for mail. Like, if you just think of it objectively, like, that's what happened. Like, they were getting our fucking... Hustler magazines and fucking
just
Red Bulls,
shit.
just a bunch
Like,
of bullshit that we didn't fucking need, right? But it was morale, right? So that is important, especially as an NCO,
time,
right?
yeah.
Morale is important. So who's to say that maybe this guy I don't know who it was, so I apologize if I sound disrespectful. That he felt like in that moment that he was doing the thing that he knew that he needed to be doing in Afghanistan, saving hearts and minds, right?
Yeah.
Saving a kid.
And that's what I hope.
It's difficult, right?
That is what I hope that happened. Like I really do. Like I
So then pick
really
that.
do hope that.
So then pick that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think at the end of the day, and again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm diminishing anything because trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. At the end of the day, I think the most important thing is that we have the choice.
Yeah.
We have the choice to write the narrative.
Yeah.
Right? So, as much as I want to say these, my friends, although I didn't know Sergeant First Class Howard that well, but the week prior to Staff Sergeant Paul being killed, him and I spent 8 hours in the tower, and we talked about how like this was his 4th tour.
Yeah.
He had kids. Like he was done. He was gassed out. He had done a bunch of different MOSs, and he was like, I can't do this shit anymore, man. I'm fucking 40. I gotta get the fuck out. And he died over fucking mail.
Yeah.
So I can look at it that way for sure. But what is it going to breed? It's just going to breed resentment towards our country, and not only that, but like it's really going to disrespect. And again, this is just the way I feel. Like it's just going to disrespect the duty and the sacrifice of the moment, like he was doing. So, eventually at some point I'm going to have the fucking death conversation with my daughter. But I've always viewed death as, these people that die, whether it's Lou, whether it's Sergeant First Class Howard, your friend overseas, Edwin Rivera, Bittner, all these guys, we could look at it from a fucking pessimistic way.
Yeah.
Right? But why is it so hard for us to look at it from the positive way? Like a hey, this guy,
Yeah.
Lou's a little bit more difficult, right? Because, he was battling his own demons. But why can't we remember the things about them? Why is it so difficult for us to do that? Like, why can't we, like, whenever I think about machine guns, or if I'm watching, I like to watch Forgotten Weapons a lot on YouTube.
Yeah.
About like random ass shit that they try to make, and every time I hear machine gun, I think of Lou. That might not be the best fucking picture, but like I remember Lou. I remember what he stood for.
Yeah.
I remember his tenacity, his unwavering, just get the fuck after it. I think about Staff Sergeant Paul and his compassion as a man and as a father. And Sergeant First Class Howard, of how, she was just like kind of like this Mother Goose kind of E7. She was like in her 50s. Why is it so hard for us to just pick that instead of, it's fucking bullshit. Like they fucking died getting me some Hustler magazines and all this other crap.
Yeah.
So I think the important part is like, we have the choice to remember them how we want to.
Yeah.
And we can own that, regardless of whatever everybody else thinks. But I'm pretty sure and a lot of other people would echo this, like, that we are all going to remember Lou for being Lou. Like the fact that 3 of us I've never met you.
No. Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't know Terry, but like we barely know each other. Like we haven't had like really deep discussions, but like how the fuck did we manage to just remember all the things, the same things about Lou?
Yeah.
So is it difficult? 100%. Like I think about that entire conversation that I had with Staff Sergeant Paul and then not feeling sad about him being dead. Like that. It's strange to me, which I think goes back to those girls on the tarp and the suicide bomber living for a few minutes on the side of the road. Like sometimes shit just doesn't fucking make sense.
No.
But when it doesn't make sense, like we have the choice for that narrative.
Yeah.
And, sometimes does it feel like it's diminishing a little bit of their memory and all the things that they could be and all the potential that is lost? Yeah. Sometimes it feels like that, especially when we have bad days.
Yeah.
But I think that we can keep the consistency of remembering them and the lessons that are passed on from them. Yeah. Whether that's something you heard in a guard shift or something that like, wow, this guy, for no fucking reason, we were just bullshitting on the fucking range. and he decided to give his life in this particular moment.
Yeah.
And he even didn't know. And I guarantee you the person who was part of that situation probably feels just as fucking bad.
Yeah.
If not worse.
Yeah.
Because although we all felt helpless in those particular moments, but that driver probably feels horrendous.
And that was one of the things too. Like we were fucking super worried about, and like, I mean, I haven't talked to the kid in a while, or whatever. But like, that's like, and I think what we did was, and to, right or wrong, the PL at the time was he made some horrible decisions during the deployment, and this was like kind of like halfway through or whatever, and like. We kind of based it on him. We were like, fucking that. Yeah, if that dude didn't make that call, like we would have been fucking good. And maybe so, but it was just like somebody had to make a call.
Right.
Fucking does it. You know, whether he saved a kid or not, you know, that's the story that got out, which I'm fucking grateful for. It's just like to an extent, like we were just like,
what a waste.
and I don't know if it. Because I haven't had that many conversations with people, because we were like a PRT, and when we got back, like we had a lot of people from other units like with us. So like we got back, we did a yellow ribbon bullshit, and then like fucking everybody went fucking separate ways. So nobody's ever had a real conversation about it. And and it's fucking terrible. It really is. Like I think that yellow ribbon's a piece of fucking shit. Like I think it's the worst fucking thing ever invented with the fucking guard. However, like there's a better way to do it, and I think I've talked about it before. Like, you know, keep the guys on fucking orders or fucking do something. But anyway, no, I think that whole thing, like when you're talking about it as, we should, like, I should believe that dude saved another kid,
right,
and that would make it easier. Like, it's so hard to be like, hey.
For sure.
He definitely did that, because I was in the fucking back truck. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Right.
Like, you know, like, and great dude, but like I could see him getting caught under a truck. Like you know, it could happen. Like he's not like, and so it sucks. Like and that's like, and like I said, if you got fucking shot by fucking somebody that was like fucking shooting at us at the range or whatever,
it's more
the fuck,
justifiable, like, because it's part of the rules that we signed up for.
I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, that dude died fucking
he died a fucking champ. That motherfucker was a beast.
Like cool.
Right. But here's the other thing too, though, is that you have to also keep in mind that just because you're in your fob or your fucking fire base doesn't mean that war's off.
Yeah.
Right. You know, so like that's another thing that like maybe, you know, it's not like football. Like we're not in bounds as soon as you get outside the wire.
Yeah.
So and you know, there's a bunch of times that we did the same. It's the same fucking shit. I know exactly what you're fucking talking about. Were you guys? Was this outside Black Hills? Yeah. I know exactly what the fuck this is. We used to do our 50 cal shit and C4 training over there. So I think that's the other thing too. It's just kind of like we kind of. And I'm not saying that you felt this way, but I know I felt this way. Like there's a certain level of complacency, like because we knew we were close.
It was exactly. I mean, that was the exact thing too.
Like we could still see. Was it Tower 3?
Because I remember like that day, like no other in Afghanistan do I remember like that day, right? So I mean, we were out there. We were fucking shooting 249s by the hip, 240s by the hip. We were fucking 50 cal, Mach 19s.
Were you just looking at my fucking pictures from our first tour?
Like we were literally just fucking going to town because we had fucking shit ton of ammo. Like we had stockpiles of shit. Like it was like Metal was full of fucking ammo.
Right.
Anyway, so we fucking had tons of shit. We were just like, yeah, fuck it. Let's fucking do this shit. Like get some fucking good. I don't even know if it was good training. It was just fucking let's
decompression,
go,
to be quite fucking frank.
Like fucking throwing grenades, fucking this and that, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, it was a good idea to go do that. Like it was. I mean, it was not the wrong decision. It was just like that one fucking time. One fucking thing happens, and you're just like.
But here's the key part, though. Why was it wrong? It was only wrong because something bad happened. Yeah. It wasn't wrong because if nothing bad happened, it would have just been another day that we would have been shooting shit about.
And that's what I talk about. Is that like, cause dude, I remember going out to the range, like, and we used to play fucking music all the time. And I remember going out to that range that day, being like, hey, this is fucking good. And I played the fucking You ever heard Sail? Like the
Yeah.
fucking who the fuck? I don't know. I forget who sings it, but fucking Sail, that fucking song, right?
All nations.
Yeah, AWOL Nation, right? And I remember playing that going out to the range, and to this day, like that's, I wouldn't say a trigger, but that's like my hey, we're going out to the range that day. Like play that fucking sound.
It's
like
an auditory like trigger.
Like, and I'll play that sometimes when I come here and do the podcast, is because it makes me go back to like why the fuck I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
And like what, like at the time, dude, everything was fucking great. And then like after that incident, like I wouldn't say it happened right away. Like after the incident, we went back to fucking jobs as normal. Like we got a shit to do. Right. And it wasn't until like a lot later, like then I was like, shit, this thing's like, dude, I'm thinking about this thing a lot. Like there's something fucking fucked up. Like, and like you said, like, you can't attribute a lot of your stuff to like PTSD, but like, in my instance, like maybe it is, maybe that's like the thing that like really fucking fucked me up with it. And to get to this point in talking about it is like making me, like how you frame it, like it's tough to frame because it's what happened.
Right. Well, because we've also been behind the curtain. So like, well, to a degree, like we know how shit runs. Like we know how douchebag commanders operate. Like we know how the minutia of like how one fuckface can fuck everything up for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason and I don't know if you guys see this or maybe Terry sees this, is like I see a lot of parallels between like at the end of the equation in those situations between yours and the suicide bomber with mine, like they just like there's no answer to it. Like and which is I don't know if my answer is or the like what I said is the end all be all of it, or like if there's something more to it, but like that's why I keep that moment in there, because like it's just sometimes life just doesn't make sense. Like why would this happen to this person that is just
and that's why I feel like that like
strange.
That's something I have to like maintain hold of but deal with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think it's a very good like point to be like, life and death is so easy.
It is.
It's so quick. Like shit can happen in an instance. Like I mean, fuck, I was at a funeral today. Like guy dies of a heart attack at 47. Right. You never know. You never know when your last day is.
Right.
Like you really don't. Like and like I've wanted to like be like, hey, like, this has affected me, but I've learned from it. But then like you go to a point where like this thing is like affected me so much that it's like, well, what am I learning from this? Like, what am I gaining by like having this be an issue?
Right. Which is the same thing. It's the same question that I ask myself. Like, why do I choose? And sometimes I don't choose. It just happens. Like, why do I picture just those two heads next to each other with intestines next to it? Like, so I don't know if I don't know if I should do like art therapy or some shit where like just like erase that image from my head. But I don't know. I feel like there's some type of like, it's kind of like when people talk about the Big Bang, right? Yeah, right. It's like, it's so hard to comprehend. It's just like God. Like, it's like, how, I don't know, can't comprehend those two things. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me that like a singular point, whether that's your situation or my situation or the Big Bang or somebody believing in God, I feel like it's just one of those unknowable, unanswerable, at least in our lifetime, like things. Yeah. I don't know if is that it, but I just know, I always feel like at the end of the day, we have the choice. Is it easy? No. Yeah. Absolutely fucking not. Because like all the cascading doubts and fears and things that we know behind closed doors that a lot of civilians don't know of how the military operates. And like you were talking about the kid with the photo op.
Yeah.
Like all the,
nobody would ever think minutia. That's like a thing, right? But
yeah,
like,
the insidious minutia of the machine of like how it all works. Yeah. So like, you get tainted by that. But then, you think like, did they die doing what they felt was necessary in the moment.
Well, yeah, because it's funny you talk about it, right? So the Army has a thing when somebody gets injured or hurt, or whatever. So now they got
stress teams?
No. Now they have to do like an investigation on what happened, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they send out these DA civilians, whatever. They send them out, and like now they're like, and to me at the point, like, so I'm thinking I'm somewhat detached, right? So I'm an NCO. I have a fire team. I'm like I don't want to burden other people with this thing, right? So like I go out there and the guy's like, hey, they like Lap will do it. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll go do it. And because I volunteered to do it. I was like, hey, like I don't want any of my dudes to deal with this. I don't want the driver to deal with this. I don't want anything. Like I just want I'm gonna go deal with it. Whatever. Yeah. And so now they're asking me like, all right, how was he under the vehicle? Like how is he? And then they bring out the like we're standing at the vehicle. It's me and this fucking 2 DA civilians.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, how was he like under the vehicle? And then like he climbs under the vehicle, like, and he's like, was he here? And I was like, well, no, he was here, like, because I saw the aftermath, obviously,
right.
Like, so he was here, and then like, and to me, I was protecting. Like I thought I was protecting like other people from having to deal with that, which maybe I did, but like I didn't realize like it would like affect me as much because I was like, no, I will handle this and I will be good with it. But like now I'm like showing these dudes like literally reenacting it at like the day after, or not even the day after. I think it was the same day. Like so, and like I'm like reenacting this whole thing. Yeah. And I'm like showing them this or whatever, and they're putting chalk marks in the vehicle and this, that. And I'm just like, and now that I think about it, I'm like, fuck, dude, like that shit was fucked up. Like,
well, that's like, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of like asking a rape victim, like, how did he fuck you?
Yeah.
Like, that's really like, how did it touch you on the doll? Show me on the doll. Yeah. Like that's literally what they did to you.
And I'm just like,
but you couldn't know that.
But like, and I chose to do it because I just didn't want.
Because you felt like it was a noble thing.
But I knew it would be a traumatic incident for like the driver to go do or like whatever.
Pro tip is because you're a good leader. Because you,
yeah, I know. But like, and that's not that I know I'm a good leader, but I do pride myself on being a producer.
You knew the right thing to do. You knew the right
but like,
thing to do.
And so, you know, you go do that. And then like, I didn't realize that because I thought I was good enough to like not be responded by it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I thought I would be like,
it's
okay,
the burden
cool.
of leadership, my friend.
And so, and the rest of the deployment, totally fine. Like, right? Like we do our mission, we do everything, totally fine with all of it. And then like, it wasn't until like, dude, it was probably a year or two after I got back. Like, that's when I'm like, oh, and obviously till now, which is fucking, what would you talk about, Terry? Like 10 years. We were like, until you get like after 10 years, that's like when you start getting a realization about like how it affects you as a person. Yeah. Like, cause obviously long for you too. Yeah. Like, so, and this whole thing, like we talk about PTSD, we talk about, you know, anxiety, we talk about ADD, we talk about like a lot of things that affect us as, you know, infantrymen or just individual soldiers or people. Right. And it, like, and I feel like you really need like almost 10 years to come up with like what you've like to deal with the whole thing,
unpack it all.
It's fucking wild because
like I said, man, it's just boxes in a closet, man. We just waiting for the to just look at it.
And I remember when we first started talking about this, and like I think you came up to me and we kind of had like a little talk about it, and like we were like, hey, and you said like, hey, I want to do this, and I was like, and you asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, like I don't want to. I really do not want to talk about these things because that's not what I want to do.
I did the pitch. I was like, come on.
But like to the extent, like dude, every time I come out of these and every time I talk about it, and it may be selfish to my point, but like it's like therapy to me to like just lay some stuff down.
Yeah.
And to get a different perspective, which I appreciate you. Like having
I appreciate yours, man.
Because like
I appreciate it.
It's so hard to like, you know, you rationalize like your inner things, and then like to like put it out there and like to put it as a really to put it like, and I think the video cameras help. Like I think it's like, and the recording helps, is that you put it out there. You don't
sugarcoat it.
Yeah, you're not bashful by it. Like you just not like, it's out there and it's there.
Yeah.
And then it's like kind of gone a little bit more from your conscience. Like you're just kind of like, it's here, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep coming back to this. I love it. I think it's,
me too.
I think it's like super helpful. And fucking Terry, man.
I think the important part to remember is, for all of us and for anybody else listening or watching, is that at the end of the day, you still have a choice, regardless of how insignificant you feel like it might be, because the more insignificant it feels, it just means that you really haven't really understood yourself or asked those right questions, right?
Just playing it off.
Yeah. Like, you know, just like you said, sometimes like it just means like you just have to keep talking about it to desensitize yourself to it, to the point where that you can think of it objectively. And like I said before, like it's not easy.
No,
it never is. And if it was be easy, like we wouldn't be fucking doing any of this shit, because we would just get the fuck over it. Yep. But we can't. And I think you know, it's just that there's just that mysteriousness to why life doesn't make any fucking sense.
Life doesn't make sense. Yeah. Humanity, life.
But also, like, we're mirrors to each other, which helps us make sense of ourselves as we talk to each other. Because, like, I mean, there's lots of things that traumatize other people, like, but we just don't fit in those general problems.
Right.
Like we're not
thresholds or whatever.
Right. We're not sitting like at some sort of like, you know, middle-aged women's club where it's like, well, my husband left me for our babysitter. You know, you're talking about we ran over one of our guys and he's dead. You're like, well, I saw two girls get blown up and I see their heads. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a different conversation we're having.
But the point, the entire question that you're asking all of us, whether it's you thinking about yourself on a mountainside or slicing your fucking hand on a whatever the fuck it was.
Deli.
A deli, right? Yeah. But like the question that we're really asking is, what the fuck was the point? And if you're asking what the fuck was the point, then just make it up for yourself. Stop letting other people dictate what the point is for you, because you're going to have the right-wing guys of like fucking God and country and bullets and bacon. And you got the left side is like fucking vaccines, everybody fucking save each other. And it's like, just pick your fucking stance.
Real quick, maybe I want to inject because I feel in my heart like that's
my bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, I feel like maybe because I don't feel like I question what's the point. Like, I'm fine. I don't give a fuck what people think about.
It's because you're Terry. You're a hard motherfucker.
But I feel like maybe the question is, what is your question? What is eating you up? Why is it eating you up? I feel like there's a different thing that's eating you up. Maybe you haven't gotten to the root of understanding what is eating up. Because for me, I knew, like, I hated the fact that I was getting angry. But I didn't really ask enough questions until I heard your story. And I was like, oh, shit, it really goes back to my childhood. Yeah. Because to me, it was like, well, it's got to be something with the military. But I don't know, something about me asking a question constantly, like, what the fuck is it making me feel like I'm some sort of like on the brink of like an animal, like, you know what I mean? If I lose my shit, I hate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is your whole real being. I mean, like there's one incidents that do happen, like the one I'm talking about and stuff like that, are not just, it's not just Afghanistan, right? Like it's your whole like premise with life, right? So, you know, I had like a good childhood and stuff like that, and I did all this stuff or whatever, but I just felt that I needed more in my life. So that's why I joined like the Guard and the Army. And then you do the stuff and then there's consequences that like really nobody ever prepared you for. Like nobody's like, hey, you know, these are the stuff you got to think about dealing with or whatever. And I think so people are so detached, not people, but like organizations and like things that happen, like there's no golden answer to anything, right? There's no like, hey, let me write up the book of you guys running over yourselves. All right. This is what you need to do when you run over a dude, or this is what you need to do when, you know, fucking somebody dudes on a male fucking run. Like there's no answer to any of that. Like, because there's so many variables. So like you have to like, And I like where you're going with that, is that like you have to kind of think of it as like you got to make your own real adjustment to it, and you have to like really like be like, hey, well, no, but the male was important, like, and 2 dudes died because of the male,
Right.
Like, but it wasn't just the male; it was a mission that was going on, right? So like you I can see exactly what you're saying with everything, and like I just think like it's not just that incident, right? So it's really your whole life has to be involved in like your realization of your health, like, right?
Yeah.
Like health, and I throw a health out there, but like it's, you know, I feel like that like at a certain point you have to like humanitize yourself. You have to be like, you know, I'm this person because I believe this.
Right.
However, like it's very difficult to get there.
Right. Well,
but like, and I'm not there. I know I'm not.
It's a
but
it's
like,
a balance line of being objectively, like looking at your past objectively, whether that's Afghanistan or your entire culmination of your life. And this is just my philosophy on it. Looking back objectively, but not chastising yourself for the decisions or indecisions that you had, because the past is the past. Like you can't do fuck all about it. So why? And this goes for me too. Like, why do we have such a propensity to just pick the worst fucking thing?
Yeah.
Like, pick the best thing. And this is why I was talking about the whole conversation of like, how do we feel about death? How do you feel about the afterlife? Because I guarantee you, if you had a solid belief, regardless if it's some fucking cookie cutter religion or if you want to be a Jedi Knight, I don't give a shit. Just pick something, right? Pick the thing that feels like it fits your narrative, and your friend's death or your comrade or your peer or your parents or anybody in your life that's significant, it'll just make it that much easier. Like, none of these things are easy.
Yeah.
But we just decide to not have these conversations. And this is why I go back to everybody's going around trying to find answers but not looking for the truth, or like keeping ourselves blind to it. Like, we live in a society now, I don't mean to sound like a fucking joker right now, but you know, we live in a society now where we just want to patch things. We don't want to look at shit. We don't want to uncover. We don't want to pull back the curtain and really look at the fucked up thoughts that everybody has in their head.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I've like been driving down the highway and been like, I wonder what it would feel like if I just went head on into this tractor trailer. Like, would I feel it? I don't know. But I've never had that inkling to like try it out. But like, you can't tell me that these aren't any kind of fucking thoughts that haven't passed through your mind.
well, I mean,
once,
and
at
no,
least once.
and nowhere to never know that you turn that wheel. Like,
Right,
like,
exactly.
it's like,
But like, we choose to not have any of these conversations. We just choose to kind of just go by the status quo and just do enough for each other or for ourselves, like to just survive. We also live in a society now where like money is your primary resource. It's no longer fur and fucking meat and berries and making sure that your legacy stays alive with children. Like, it's all encompassed into that, like all together. Like, so there's a lot of really important questions and conversations that we almost kind of choose not to have because we just don't want to be uncomfortable. Like, we'd rather just stay with the uncomfortable numbness of like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so died for this. And it's like, well, why do we keep choosing the worst things ever?
because this is uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable, 100%.
No, it is. No, it really is. Yeah.
But I like
Especially
it.
for us, because I feel like I think like you and I have talked like enough about it, Terry. But like, it's like this is not the infantryman like threshold. Like, this is not what we do. We don't talk about our shit.
Right.
We just fucking do it, you know. And
Right.
and I think like getting to this point is like showing that like we're more than just fucking fucking trigger pullers.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We're fucking like real fucking people that like have to deal
it's
with
just
it.
growing pains. That's
Yeah.
it. And we just like, how do you have growing pains about fucking post-war? That's you know, the whole different level.
I always like, I don't know. I like in my own head, I always think of myself as like Leonidas's fucking lieutenant, or like that hard motherfucker can go do the shit, but can cry on the battlefield because his son just got stabbed in the fucking chest. Yeah. Like that, we can have these discussions because the whole point of the military, when you do an AAR, one of the things that they tell you is lessons learned.
Yeah.
what are the lessons that are being learned? And if we're forcing ourselves to stay blind to these fucking lessons learned, then the same bullshit that we're going through trying to figure it out on fucking YouTube, these guys are going to be trying to figure it out later. But it's only going to get worse because, let's be honest, like, shit's getting soft. Shit's getting real fucking soft.
All right, that's a good point, and probably just try to wrap it up now.
All right, let's
and so because you said that, it strikes me really good. Like, I'm gonna sign off with one thing, and I think that anyone who's potentially watching, I doubt it because it's super long, but if you're watching, you're some random person, and you're a vet, as obvious as it may seem, like, no matter how fucking stupid you feel your thought is, you're not the only one who's been there. You know what I mean? Like, when you say, like, oh, like, I'm driving 80 miles an hour, like, what if I just turn the wheel and go into this, tractor trailer? If you're afraid, like, someone's, like, judging you for that, you think you're maybe you feel like you're a little bitch, you're feeling weak, or you're just weird, or, like, there's something wrong with you, you're fucking normal. You're fucking normal, dude. Like, you should be sitting in the same room with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, we're 10 years easily removed from our deployment, and we're just trying to work shit out right now.
Coming up on 2012.
Yeah, so it's like,
So shout out to you guys if you guys are watching, and I don't know whoever's watching this thing, but yeah, fucking show us up and fucking come on, man. We want to talk your piece.
yeah, let's fucking have the tough conversations. So that's all I wanted to throw out there.
I want to make it mushy
Good.
because I'll bring in the mushiness. Like, I love you guys very much. I feel like a lot of men don't really say that enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's okay.
Love you too.
I love you too, man. I appreciate it. Especially my Melanon brother.
Strong feelings too. Strong feelings too.
I love you, man. I love you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Have these conversations.
Yeah. Thanks for having you on, man.
Do it.
It's fucking great. I thoroughly enjoy these things, and
Me too.
I think it's really helpful for us and for other people. So, yeah. Fuck yeah.
All right,
Cool.
guys. Till next time.
All right.
Till next time.